Yo. It's Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Oh, intro started over. Hold up. There we go.
Yeah, I'm down here twice. Like, yo, double up on the Righteous Reg out here. Let's start the morning like that.
Yeah, let's double up on the Righteous Reg. Because Righteous Reg almost lost him this week.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ.
But I am glad the next morning you came back around.
I came back around like an hour later. I was like, yo, I was wilding. It was crazy out here.
An existential crisis.
It was, it's been a couple weeks, man. It's been a lot. Putting together a rap show is a fucking lot. Being a rapper is a lot. On top of that, there's wrestling, there's podcasts, there's all kinds of shit going on. I'm trying to get ready for Texas, working every single day to make money, to get bills, got to pay rent. It's fucking crazy. So it just all came on to me. And I was like, you know what? Fuck all of it. I'm done. I don't want to rap. I don't want to do nothing. I wanted to just like do wrestling, but I'm a rapper forever. It's I was talking with a friend, like rapping is my audio journal, and I have to to exist as like a black man in this world, I have to express myself through raps, because if not, there would be nowhere for them to go, and I'd probably fight people at all times, at all the days. So yeah, hip hop's forever, man. Righteous Reg is here. You know, we go through things, especially as artists, you know, like Doja Cat was going through the same thing at the exact same time. She was like, I'm out of here. All this is bullshit. I'm done here. Yeah, so like, you know, like that's like it, that was refreshing to see. Like, I've sold not a lot of records, and she sold a lot of records. So like, to know that like at the top, it's also like, yo, it's fucked up here too, was very refreshing. So yeah, artist shit, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I've been there. I've had that existential crisis moment. The worst part is, and I don't think I've ever told anybody this. So welcome, Grapsody audience. But as somebody, as you know, who's been podcasting 17 years, I think especially in the last like 2 or 3 years,
they're saying your mic is low, William.
My mic is low?
Yeah, that's what they're saying on the Chizat.
That's interesting, because it's always too high, and I'm always like, I don't know. I'm always
said wolf off, man. You better up them levels.
All right. Let's see how that goes. I'm always the loudest on the show. Every time I go back and listen to it, I'm like, damn, why was I so loud? And so I've been playing with my levels a little bit, and I thought this was an improvement, but I'm now being told it's not.
Why am I so loud? That's hella funny.
So I guess y'all tell me if it's any better now, if my mic is still super low, because it sounds good in my headphones.
It sounds about the same.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all tell me though. Doja Reg.
Doja
Reg. Yeah, it's the same low. I don't know what that means. Well, damn. All right, y'all talk for a minute. I'm gonna let StreamYard do its thing.
Yes, it's sounding kind of low today. I don't know what's going on, but what's up with you, Philip? There's been a lot of it's been a lot this week on the wrestling front, right?
A lot of wrestling to watch, even more wrestling to watch next week. I just don't know how people make time to watch all the wrestling, man.
Bro, it's impossible.
It's ridiculous, man. It's a ridiculous wealth of wrestling out here, and that's why also sometimes I'm like, hey, to complain about wrestling you don't want to watch, just watch something else.
Seriously, like there's these New Japan, there's all these great New Japan matches I keep hearing about, and I'm like, yo, like, what?
New Japan
Zack Sabre Jr.'s out there tearing shit up again. Shingo, like, yo.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched last night, or this morning, but New Japan Cup was really, really good. Zack Sabre Jr. had a banger of a match with Shango. Naito and Okada never have a bad match.
They can't. It's impossible.
So, yeah, finals are set for the New Japan Cup for tomorrow. Yeah.
What are the finals? Yeah, I didn't see it because I was trying to watch it this morning, but I ended up watching a little bit of the GCW show.
The finals are going to be Zack Sabre versus Naito. So that is two guys who have already won a New Japan Cup. And Zack, I think he won it in 2018. And Naito won in 2016. So, yeah, looking forward to that.
And those guys always have, and so they've been in this tournament having insane matches, and so to top it off is going to be crazy. Zack Sabre Jr. is, I don't know what he's been drinking, what he's been eating, but boy, oh boy, I think it's always kind of been the thing with Zack Sabre Jr. though. It's always like everybody's hot on him, and then it kind of goes like this, but it's like he never stops being fucking Zack Sabre Jr. and tearing it up. You know what I mean? Incredible talent.
Yeah, I mean, you can say the same thing for Naito. I feel like Naito, people will always be like, oh, Naito's not getting his chance. And you can heat Naito up at any time because he's just beloved by so many fans that, you give him a little bit of a push and people will be behind it.
That's how I feel about like Miro. I feel like that about him when he was Rusev in WWE. Like there was points where like it was low for him, but like as soon as you like give him something, it's about to be hot again immediately. So it's like, you out here, Will, or what's going on up there?
I don't know. Y'all tell me if shit's any different.
It sounds fine. Is it still low for you guys?
I don't know. I'm gonna check. I got it pulled up on my phone now, so I'm like actually trying.
Yeah, fucking all the systems up. It's like.
But yeah, New Japan show was really good last night.
I hope they don't cut our stream for talking about them like out loud and shit. They be crazy out here.
It sounded fine on my phone, so I don't know what to tell folks.
They saying it's good. They saying it's good.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I just listened to it on my phone.
Come on, man. They got a quick New Japan Cup recap from us.
Yeah, we don't be talking a lot of New Japan, so yeah, we threw that one in real quick.
Yeah, which is always fun. And yeah,
but yeah, that just goes along with too much wrestling because like, how do you stay up till 3 a.m. to watch pro wrestling, man? It's hard.
Oof.
You know what though? I will say this because I hear people say a lot. There's too much wrestling. Some people.
I don't think there's too much.
There's not too much. Yeah, definitely.
No, but we hear that a lot, right? And so one of the things I will say in that regard is, I like that there's so much variety right now because. When I hear from people that there's too much wrestling, that to me always feels a little weird because I'm like, you don't have to watch all of it, but I like that there's so many options. Yeah, if you're a completionist, there is way too much wrestling for
you. And nobody watches everything. Anybody that says they watch everything, you're lying. You don't.
I mean, I will say this. The late, great Larry Sanka, the reviewer for 411 Mania, passed away in 2020. Good friend of mine. That man watched everything. It is the best part of the thing I loved about Larry was that if you needed there's like a hair hanging from my if you see me like grabbing shit, there's like one little
I thought it was like a spider web and you were trying to get it out of there.
I thought you were trying to shout out Scott Hall again.
There
like, with the little hair in the front.
There it is, right there. See,
is it a gray one? I got a gray one down here. I'm kind of excited about. Like when I turn to Silver Fox Reg, these cougars.
Fox,
they gonna be waiting for you, boy. I'm telling you.
You ever heard the Reg story? They're great, but I ain't gonna put them on blast like that. But
please do not put me on blast out here, Will.
I am not gonna do that. But they are A+ stories.
I got some good ones for next week too. Oh man, it's crazy out here.
Righteous Reg at Wrlemania on March 31st.
Oh my
ladies,
God!
Make sure you
get the goddamn handcuffs out. They are not going to be able to hold you down, bro. It's going crazy. I'm telling you, the Grapsody boys are in the building for Wrlemania, bro. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's going to be great.
Buy Reg a shot of Henny. Get him going. Come on.
But no, what I was saying though, like Larry was really good about reviewing everything to the point of where if you go back and if you want a review of pretty much any wrestling show from like early 2000s through his passing in 2020, literally just Google that show followed by the name Larry Zonka. You'll find a review of it. That
he was the guy.
He was the guy. Like honestly, the fact that man reviewed Main Event every week blew my mind because I'm like, how? Like, there's nothing to see.
Yeah,
there was
how?
nothing to see there,
How?
but every
How?
week he had.
What
a
are you
review
writing
written.
up, bro? And then they were in a headlock for 5 minutes. Like that's crazy out here.
But he did. And I was
He did.
that.
Shout
But
out to
other than
him.
that-
R.I.P.
Yeah. Other than that, though, there's nobody has to watch everything, especially now. Now there's so much content.
Like even people that get paid to write about wrestling don't have to watch all of it. You know what I mean?
To watch all of it. But that's the thing is, I don't feel like any company should be basing their, I guess, content output on what anybody else is doing. Because honestly, if you have the content to output the shit because you probably have fans that want to see it. As far as when I hear anything that says like, oh, there's too much, you all should slow down or they should slow down. No, if you've got content to output, you output it and let people decide if they want it or not. And that's how,
it. Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Way better to have it available. I tell everybody that I don't understand when any promotion doesn't put their shows up. Like, what do you just have this footage for? Like, what are you talking about, dude? Put every match up, put it out. If you're not on independent wrestling or high spots or put that shit on YouTube, bro. What are y'all doing? It's a show. We want to see it. Don't just have the show. Like if you recorded it and you can put it out, put it out. If you didn't record it and we can't see it, that's fine. But like if you have the footage, bro, put it out. Not just for you to watch at your home and be like, look at what I did this one time. I don't know what these promoters be doing, man. It's crazy.
But hey, this is Grapsody. We're here. It's a Saturday. Let's see some super chats. Let's see some humper chats. You guys help keep the show going, and in doing so, you also help. You also help the content flow. That's the thing is the super chats really do just help everything here.
The super chats mean so much. The humper chats they mean a lot. You guys
really
way more than you even would know. So shout out to y'all.
Ryan Sullivan says, "Righteous Reg, the best in the game for raps and rants."
Thank you. Appreciate that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Right there. Some nice words from nice people.
Matt says, "Good morning, Will, Phil, and Reg. The man preventing me from being in Dallas, but
hater, big hater, man, big hater. Your boss is a big hater."
But Supercard of Honor gonna be nuts. Hope Deanna versus Britt happens. I don't know what's gonna happen with all that.
Supercard of Honor is insane already, and Tony Khan did his. I got a surprise, classic Tony Khan. You want to wait around for the surprise at Supercard of Honor? I love it, man. Let's go. It's pro wrestling, man. Keep doing it forever.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said, and it took me a second to realize what was being referenced, but said, "I hope all those belts in the background of Will's room are clean and untainted." And
that doesn't seem like a Will Washington thing to me to be trying to with the belt on. I don't know. It might be. I don't know. I could be learning a secret today.
Nah, my wife would not be happy with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
These things is heavy. Like, it's not like this is...
Right.
Come on,
like,
man.
you have to have a woman... Like, it works for two wrestlers because they both want belts. But if, like, somebody not in the wrestling thing, they're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing with that giant belt on, bro? Take that off.
Nah, man. That's a wholesome household, man. What are you doing?
Exactly. Man? Yeah. Will walks in with the fucking World Heavyweight Championship on. She's going to be like, bro, get out of here with that. What are you doing?
Fam, if I ever heard that he walked in like Spud with like the belt, yo, come on, bro.
No, she's out. She ain't gonna be up for this. No.
Nah. These belts are pristine, and although I don't know, I've had this one a really long time. The Attitude Era belt. That's an original Attitude Era belt.
He's saying the younger him, he don't know.
Look, I got that when I was 14.
Oh, okay. So when you was out there, you might have had it on, you know?
Yeah,
19-year-old Will Washington might have strapped up with it.
This belt has probably stories. If this thing could talk, it probably remembers everything and is like, hey, don't tell that story. But,
now, you know what? Like, the only time I would have a belt in the bedroom is, like, when I'm done. Like, she puts the belt on me. Like, you know how, like, they put the belt on? How Dana White will come in and put the belt on him at the end? I want her to put the belt on me after I lay it down. I'm just like, yeah, motherfucking champion, baby. And I celebrate naked with my championship on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with it. No, I see it. I know what Sammy Guevara was doing now.
You see the vision now?
I see the vision, bro. I see the vision. It came pretty quickly.
Yeah, hopefully that's the only thing that came quickly. All right.
Okay, there it
Tom
is.
said we got Will's cousin trucked by Reg's boy last night.
Come
They're
on,
coming
man.
up again. They're tearing Grapsody apart.
Powerhouse, my brother, the big homie. What's going on here? We're supposed to be a big team. I thought we were all a gang out here, man. I don't know. What's going on?
Oh, speaking of which, though, you've got a story coming up in the latest Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
The newest PWI, yes. When a couple weeks ago, when Grapsody had the man Swerve Strickland on, after it was over, I got him for another interview for my magazine PWI. Yeah, big Swerve interview and article in the next PWI. So great. I got to I said, look, only thing I really want to do is like get Monteezy's name in this magazine. So talk about Monteezy.
Hey.
Got to get Monteezy to talk about in this magazine. I got to talk about Swerve's music and how many amazing things he did before coming into AEW. Because as I see online, a lot of people have never seen Swerve really wrestle. That's what I was saying. My first question and thing was like, people, when their favorite independent wrestler goes to WWE, sometimes people don't go with them. So when they're over there, you were there for 3 years. Well, I didn't see you for 3 years. I don't know. Or they've only been watching for so long and they don't watch WWE. So if you were over there for 3 years, they've never seen you wrestle. They don't know anything about you.
I know there's a big number of AEW fans that I've talked to who didn't know Swerve at all.
Exactly.
Just based on the fact that they missed his indie stuff. And then on top of that, if they were likely attached to AEW, they weren't watching NXT on Wednesday.
Definitely were not watching NXT. So
then it was like they just missed his entire run. So I have talked to people who have said like, oh, this is my first time seeing him.
Right.
This is my first exposure to him. I'm liking what he's about. I like his style. Like, so it's kind of cool to see that. Hey, Rob Reed says, shout out to Mikey Ruckus. Loved his interaction with Reg.
The DM that he sent was even better. So shout out to Mikey Ruckus because shit was dope.
Yeah, and speaking of which, by the time we come up next, April 1st is the digital release of the Who We Are album.
Go, baby. Hell yeah, man. Been waiting for this shit. A lot of people have been waiting for this shit.
Yeah, they wanted the digital release. So the album will be up on streaming services and streaming platforms.
Ooh.
All of them starting April 1st. So
please make videos dancing and doing things to the songs because that's fucking dope. It's going to be so cool hearing our music, the things that we done. We'll put a little extra umph on his to send out to make sure y'all hear it. You know what I mean?
Your boys may have pulled a Kanye in that.
Yeah. Look at this guy. It's already mixed and mastered. He's submitting again.
I know. After the physical. So those of you who own the physical release may have a slightly different version of the Powerhouse Hobbs song because I made a tweak to it after the fact. And I was given permission.
See, that's
to do
why.
so.
That's the exact reason why when I put something out, I don't listen to it for like a while. So because I know I'm gonna be like, I should have did this. I'm gonna go back. You can't go back. You just get if it's out, it's out.
There you go. Hey, physical copy. Let's
go, baby. Let's go.
Yep, you've got a rare version now. No, because honestly, the way it had happened, I'll even tell the story of what had happened. Was I had to make a version of the Powerhouse Hobbs song for the AEW concert. In Orlando. And so as I'm making that, I start modifying the beat a little bit and I'm like, oh, I kind of like the way this sounds. And it was in my head pretty much after that. I'm like, I like this version and it's a shame that I'll never get that on the album. And so I was like, shot in the dark. Let me just ask if before the digital release comes out, if I can use this version of the beat. The changes are so slight that it probably was something only I would notice anyway.
Yeah.
But
that's usually how it works.
But I was given permission to do so, and so I was like, all right, well then this is officially going to be the literal in the most literal definition of the word, a remix of the song.
Right.
Because I literally remixed it. And
if the version at the show was different, I couldn't hear shit, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
how do you know you were on beat there? You just
I was just going for it. Yeah, it was all vibes.
The way they told us was like you have to feel it in the floor.
It's all vibes. That's what they said. They said the vibes are in the floor, and I'm like, I leaned over to Monteezy. I said, what what?
They had you out there performing like Daredevil. What's going on?
I'm saying, bro. The feeling's a little bit over here. Let me stand right here. That's exactly what I was doing. I'm like, I stayed in the same place for most of the performance.
Yeah, because there were like speakers on the stage that we could hear, and they were on the floor, and so you had to kind of be in the right position to hear them. And then once you were in that right position, you just kind of had to know the rhythm, because if you're moving throughout the stage, you lose it, and so you just kind of.
And I like to be all over the stage, so it's like, whew, that was a task.
It was interesting. It was fascinating. Yep. But yeah, shout out Mikey Ruckus, and always shout out Mikey Ruckus.
Definitely.
Dante says, shout out to Wham, fumbling the bag between Trish Adora and O'Shea Edwards posts.
I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know what they're doing. But actually, I do know what they're doing. This is pro wrestling, and it's not a surprise that people are like this in the pro wrestling business. This is pretty normal.
I mean, it was just more so what a maneuvers. And I like what a maneuver. Don't get me wrong. But I know
a lot of our friends have merchandise up there.
Yeah. So. I recognize that What a Maneuver really gained most of their notoriety over the last year or so, really knocking pro wrestling tees.
Irony, man.
And so, it's one of those things where you kind of expect that to happen, but you don't want it to, where it's like, if you have made a name for yourself off of knocking somebody else, then you should probably make sure that your room is clean too.
Don't throw stones at a glass house. All the sayings. Don't do the sayings if you're gonna do the same thing that you're talking about, dude. What? Why?
And so that's you kind of hope that doesn't happen, but that's why I know that this is one of those like wholesome will takes, but like I try to. I try to highly recommend not trying to make a name for yourself off of burying other people, because
it just doesn't work in the end.
That shit's because the thing is, people are going to use that back around on you.
Exactly. People will wait with receipts. They always come with receipts.
Yeah. So.
And let me tell you, if I don't know anything else about Twitter, Twitter waits for everyone to fuck up.
My God, they can't wait.
They can't wait. They wait for any and everyone to fuck up. The second you fuck up, they're on your ass immediately.
Absolutely. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Twitter will wait for you to fuck up, and they will wait for you to do the exact thing that you were saying.
I got this tweet. Remember you said this 4 years ago? Motherfucker, I got your ass. This you?
My God, this you is the thing. It's a very Twitter thing, and I'm just saying.
I mean, a lot of these motherfuckers deserve it, but some of these motherfuckers don't deserve it. So.
Yeah, I need some people to relax on the issue. I feel like some people be trying to go overboard to look up old tweets. Like, let's everybody calm down.
Relax.
Censored Me Not podcast says the only wrestling I watch in full is NWA stuff. You are
trolling. No, you're trolling. You're not a trooper. You're trolling. What are you doing with your life? Watch something else. Don't watch that shit.
Wow.
The main event is Nick Aldis and fucking a mechanic. I don't want to see that.
Mechanic?
They got mechanics working out there.
He's not champion anymore. It's Cardona. What do you mean?
Oh, God. No, shout out to Matt Cardona. I do like that. Matt Cardona.
I did laugh pretty hard at Cardona turning around in the robe, and I was like, "Wait, Bobby Roode's in NWA?" I was like, "Wait, oh, it's Cardona."
Rude, Bobby Roode.
I don't know. I mean, it's not. Look, I feel like again
they have some things. I'm not gonna totally discredit. I watched a little bit of the Crockett Cup. I like that. Allison Kay and Marty Bell are the women's tag champs. They're great. I think they should be other places too. I didn't like that Darius Lockhart lost, but I did like that Homicide won. Austin Aries sucks.
Yeah, when I saw Austin Aries front and center on the poster, I'm like, what are we doing here? But I'll say this. Again, back to the thing from the beginning. There's wrestling for everybody out there.
Yes.
And if NWA...
You can keep controlling your narratives if you want, guys.
What's fascinating, though, is that NWA is the least attainable show. And so that to me is
When they went on to a pay thing, I'm like, what are you thinking? You
Yeah.
can't barely
Well-
get people to watch this for free. How are you going to get them to pay to fucking watch this show,
well.
man?
So I had back when NWA had first relaunched and they were doing the YouTube show when they were doing Power on YouTube.
I loved it.
I like Power, but I did recognize something because one of the things, a term that people have liked to use for years, it's not just Tony Khan. People have liked to use it a lot. Is money mark, and one of the things that I said about a money mark is that there has to be kind of no return on an investment for there to be like a true money mark, and that's why I was like, AEW at least has its ways of making money. It's got a TV deal. They have advertising. Like, at some point, it is just a sustainable wrestling business. But I kept asking myself, where is NWA's money coming from in the YouTube series? Like, they, as far as Power on YouTube was concerned, that show had nothing. It was literally just a money pit. It was, we're just doing this just to put it on. There is nothing coming back in return to pay for this show happening. And so when they went to the pay model, I got it a little bit because I'm like, okay, this show
can make money.
This show has to make money somehow. But at the same time, you also haven't really established enough of a base, and you were gone a long time. So like even the base you had established, like probably dropped off a lot. I thought that was not exactly a brilliant way to jump back into doing shows and putting it behind a paywall without like giving people enough of a taste of what you're about to get people to stick around and pay for it.
I feel like because that first year or so of Power was good. Because I mean, man, that's essentially what got Thunder Rosa on. That's what got people interested.
Ricky
in
Starks.
Ricky Starks, yeah.
Ricky Starks. They were doing a lot of good stuff in that first year, but then that Cornette thing happened, and then the COVID happened, and they had to shut down. And I felt like that hurt them more than anything. And then having to come back
was also showing the door because he got me too while they were off, and so the entire creative vision behind that.
Oh yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Yep,
yeah,
you're correct.
And funny enough, I do subscribe to watch NWA Power because that's the only way you watch it. Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Philip Lindsey is a true wrestling fan, by the way, and that the wrestling you spend to consume, and like that's the thing is you will consume what you want to see, and sometimes what you don't, and that's.
Hey man,
Philip
I just believe if there are certain people that I want to support that work for certain companies, I'm gonna pay to support it.
That's what's up.
And so yeah, I mean,
I do that with independent wrestling. So
yeah. So I mean, if I really sat down and talked about every streaming platform I have for wrestling, it's a lot.
Brent Lockman says, so much good wrestling coming in the next few weeks. What are you looking forward to the most? Hope you gentlemen had an awesome week.
Briscoes and FTR is gonna go crazy. They've been setting this matchup for fucking ever.
I'm very much looking forward to For the Culture.
For the Culture is going to be insane. Yeah,
and we're going to be talking about this. It's actually one of the topics, but we're going to do it formally.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to Super Card of Honor. And yeah, it's not just the stuff coming this next week. Just the next few weeks are still
there's so
really
much.
Good. There's a lot happening in pro wrestling. It's a great time to be a wrestler.
Jonah and Ishii's gonna wrestle in Impact. That's gonna be crazy. Yep. So much good, so much great shit.
Numlock says, love how much wrestling is available now, especially with indie wrestling so accessible via streaming now. Much easier to get into than back in the day. That is a true statement.
As someone who would take 24 hours to download a 3-minute clip of anything wrestling related in the world in 1999, yes, it's beautiful here. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the early 2000s, I would set those Kazaa downloads to go.
Yep,
Kazaa. And then go to bed, come back the next morning, and I'm like, 20%.
Yes, 20%.
There's somebody like Jay Shell sitting in front of their computer right now, like, what's Kazaa?
What's Kazaa? Yeah, classic Jay Shell. She would. But you put it 20%, you go to school, you're like, damn, I hope when I get out of school, that shit's finished. You get back home, nope, still 60%.
Do you remember like watching them while it was at that 20%, and then like, but it never just like downloaded straight through. It would like download in chunks. So you'd be like, all right, you hit play, and you watch like the first 30 seconds, and it jumps to like the middle 10 minutes, and then you got like the last.
We are
5.
spoiled, okay? We can watch.
very
I can
much
watch
spoiled.
crazy shit. I can watch
Now you
a
can-
whole series worth of superstars, WWF superstars from 1991 on YouTube for some reason. You know what I mean? Like everything is out there. It's crazy. We're lucky.
Reggie says,
Oh, what's
not
up,
our
Reggie?
But he says, brothers talking graps on a Saturday morning. God is good.
Reggie's, we out here, yeah, in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Deontay says, my dudes, good to see y'all as always. My buddy asked me to watch Raw, and I'm too nice, so I did it. So I watched Stardom for 6 hours, palate clean.
You're a good friend.
So shout out to Deontay, by the way. Consistent super chatter.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody asked me to go to Raw with them over the weekend. Shout out to my buddy DS at Ring the Bell. He asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, nah. Sorry. But yeah, I'm gonna see him over the weekend. He's gonna be in Dallas, so hopefully we'll link then. But
are you going to the big show, Phil? You haven't said anything out loud.
Yeah, I don't know. I might get a last minute. I'm trying to wait to see what is booked for that second night, because the second night kind of looks better than the first night. So I was like, I might get a last minute ticket.
He's definitely going.
I haven't bought a ticket, so I'm
definitely going. Yo, hook your boy Phil up with a ticket, man. We are Grapsody. We are in they want us everywhere. We are hot commodities.
If he wanted one, he could have one like that, and
Definitely.
you could.
Definitely, Philip.
Why? What is this?
Get you a ticket, brother.
You know.
It's like how Will and his buddy TK,
I don't have nobody like TK at WWE.
None of us do, Phil. None of us do.
I don't have nobody like that at WWE. Mm-hmm. Don't let Reg lie to you.
No, because we would be scamming shit all the time if he did. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Rob said, I've been a fan of Swerve since he was Killshot in Lucha Underground.
I talked about, finishing what I was saying earlier about Swerve. I try to bring all that to the magazine and be like, oh, he did this. And then in the UK, he was the man. And then over here, he was the man. That's what the magazine article is pretty much about. Just reintroducing this incredible talent who, like I said last night, needs to be AEW World Champion fucking now. I don't care about TNT championships. You guys, FTW championships, stop being fucking dumb. Yo. AEW World Champion Swerve. Why did he lose his second match? Why are you dumb? That's the real question. Shut up.
Orion says, any truth to the rumor Reg is trying to get seats next to Jade's baddie section? Phil,
I'm saying.
Kairi on Stardom, and for Will, once I saw the Starks banner, I knew Lee was tossing someone through it. Yeah, I think we all kind of saw that.
I think we all kind of know.
Yeah.
What, the baddie section? I definitely want to be in the baddie section. Please. Oh my God, just put me like right next to it. I hope the it's like media section, baddie section, and I'm gonna cross over. And life is gonna be good, man. Thank you to Jade Cargill for not only being a beautiful, amazing, talented champion, but also on top of that, introducing us to this beautiful concept of the baddie section. She just can't do any wrong ever.
Honestly,
what a person.
That
got Will at a loss for words. He can't even put it together. The baddie section is so bad.
I mean, I thought that was a really cool thing that Jade did, and
coming off of her little whatever drama or whatever.
Yeah, and then she absolutely turned the day around. Yeah. Brought out just brought out so many female wrestling fans that people didn't even know were out there, and probably have their DMs lit up right now. And
with terrible introductions.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not gonna get it, boy.
Hey, what's your sign? Like,
no more like name your 5 favorite fucking Bret Hart matches from 1993.
Oh my God.
Fucking dorks. I hate them. Y'all are just fucking the game all up.
Yeah.
Oh God.
DMs be closed because of y'all.
I can't wait for Jade to start doing the Instagrams like Meg Thee Stallion, where she is like pouring tequila into baddie wrestling fans' mouths. Yeah. I feel like it's coming.
I can't wait for that either. That sounds amazing. Damn, we turned to NXT 2.0 horny over here for a second. It sounded like
Deontay said, and see that pic of Reg, Will, and Swerve was black amazement, and Wardlow in the corner creeping by accident. PSA, MJF ain't shit.
yeah, we did kind of put Wardlow on blast a little bit. He's like, I was
right?
not trying to be in this picture.
Well, yeah, and I guess for the people know her as Jessie Kamea. Shout out to Jessie for the picture. But yeah, that was a cool time. Yeah, the picture.
That was such a fun night.
That was a fun night. Jobbermania says, putting this into the universe now, the Swerve versus Starks rematch for the world title will be 5 times better than that Fire main event. Love the pod, boys.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that here soon. But there's an important thing to talk about. And that is our number 5 topic. That's not to say that it's number 5 in importance, but more so number 5 just in the sense of get this out of the way now, because it's kind of going out on a bit of a sad note. But Triple H is officially retiring from pro wrestling due in-ring competition, specifically in-ring performing, due to his medical condition. We knew about his medical condition last year, but not a whole lot about what the long-term, the long-term effects with that would be. And so,
shout out to Triple H. I'm fucking thirsty right now. So. Shout out to the game, man. He fucking did it, bro. Like, not only did he fucking do it on top of his career, the most important thing he did was bring fucking PWG and ROH to TV every Wednesdays. Thank you for blessing us with so many takeovers. I was thinking about how funny it was when he used to start every takeover and he would stand in the ring and be like, I did this. I did it, man. So good. So good, man.
And the thing is, at least that portion of what Triple H did for the business is still doable, although NXT 2.0 is going to make that a little bit difficult. But as far as in-ring is concerned, it is interesting to me that his in-ring career is over the way it is, mainly because, like, when you think about Ric Flair's retirement, when you think about Shawn Michaels' retirement, and Hunter played a big part in those. You know, those guys got really big send-offs, really big final matches, and you know, it was like the thought I think in all of our heads when those happened was, well, Hunter's gonna wrestle another 40 fucking years.
Yes,
so,
definitely,
you know,
definitely.
So his send-off is a long, long way off, and the fact that like it never got to happen. Like his last TV match was a Saudi Arabia match against Randy Orton, a guy he's faced 1,000,000 times. And
I'm sure Triple H would have liked to put someone over on his way out. Just Triple H.
Right. And like he did put Orton over in that match.
Yeah, but he's already over.
Yeah, and he faced Orton 1,000 times. But yeah, I guess it is all really interesting. Like thinking about the in-ring career of Hunter, and I had tweeted this, but talking about how Hunter, it's weird to think about when you watch some like old Attitude Era stuff and like early Attitude Era, because when you think about the top villains of the Attitude Era, to me the top villain of the Attitude Era is Hunter,
bar none, far and away.
And I say that because like he was really the only top heel of the Attitude Era who wasn't kind of a McMahon stooge of the month, because like as much as like Taker was the top guy, like the fact was he was for a while doing Vince's bidding. Mick Foley was doing Vince's bidding. Rock as a top heel was doing Vince's bidding. But Hunter, even when he was tied to Vince, had Vince behind him. And that was like, you know, when he was the top heel, he never really came off like just a McMahon stooge of the
And then to get really hot as heel, he turned on Vince McMahon. So like that's what got him to be where he was, you know?
And the thing I find interesting about that, though, is like when you watch the early Attitude Era stuff, you know, the knocks at Hunter were where they would call him mid-card for life. You know, there was a Pro Wrestling Illustrated article where they talked about...
Whoa. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't work for them back then. I'm young. I just started.
But the thing is, it wasn't even like a wrong assessment, right? That they talked about Hunter as essentially being like a good hand. And I feel like that got to him. Like, Hunter isn't admitted... You know, for people who talk about, oh, you know, the Wrestling Observer, all that stuff, that's just for marks on the internet. And it's like,
Lies.
no, Hunter admittedly read all that stuff. Like, Hunter was an admitted Dave Meltzer reader. And, like... would read the Observer and like take things that were said in the Observer to
And
heart.
Dave was not letting, Dave was letting him have it all the time.
And Hunter read all that stuff. And like the fact that so many people who were prominent in wrestling media had dubbed Hunter a good hand, a solid hand, but he'll never be a main eventer. He doesn't have it, but he's good. This is a good guy to have. Hold your Intercontinental Championship, hold your European Championship. But he's not a guy you can market anything around. He's got DX, but like DX as a whole is a star-worthy thing. But as far as Hunter himself is concerned, whatever. He's gonna be the background guy to Shawn Michaels, or he's a mid-carder. And he saw that as a challenge, right? In 1999, when you look at Hunter at the start of 99, when he's wearing the black and red tights that have just a generic HHH on them, and he's got the long blonde hair with the pulled up ponytail in the knot and no facial hair, like no real definition or anything. And nobody would have looked at the beginning of 99 and said, by the end of the year, that guy's going to be the top draw. And then he spent that year reinventing himself. He, first thing he did was he cut his hair shorter, started putting water in it. He grew a beard, started snarling, and it was like he completely the way he put it was, his exact words. I remember in an interview he did in 1999 when he talked about his new look. He was like, "I really just wanted to look like a piece of crap," and.
Nice Triple H impression too. I liked it.
I've been working on that one for years. I have two really good Triple H impersonations. I've got Hunter cutting a promo. I guess I have three. Hunter cutting a promo, Hunter doing an interview, and Hunter doing an NXT media call are pretty much my go-to three impersonations.
The spicy NXT media call?
What did he say? He said, why don't you just enjoy the shows? Why do you gotta... why do you gotta be compared... Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I
don't know. You tell me, Dave.
Yeah, you tell me, Dave. What is it, Dave? You wanna watch AEW or
somebody is making a very interesting point in the chat. He did steal a lot of his shtick from Shane Douglas in ECW.
Yes, he did.
A lot of it.
But he came. But regardless, he saw what he was and knew that wasn't what he wanted to be, and he made all of the changes necessary to become that. And I guess solid props to WWE for sticking by him, because I also recognize that look, I've been wanting to make this rant for a while, but I have a big problem with the idea when people say that somebody fails in pro wrestling, it's on them for not getting over, blah, blah, blah. Look.
Worst.
If WWE, regardless of how over somebody is, wants you to be there, they will get you there. And my favorite example of that is a guy named JBL, who was one of those guys. Like, that guy came in, 96, he was Justin Hawk Bradshaw. And then 98, he was just Bradshaw again. And then they put him with, and he had so many repackages. So many times they attempted to get him over as a singles guy, and it never happened. In 98, it didn't happen. They tried it in 02. Remember when he had that custom hardcore belt with the horns on it?
Nope, nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cared. And then they put him back with the APA and all that. And then you know what they eventually just did? They said, fuck it. We don't care if he's over or not. He's just going to be world champion. And they just made him WWE champion without having done any of the things that make somebody successful in pro wrestling. They just fucking did it. Yeah. And
they gave him the gender treatment.
Right. So, I don't ever want to hear it when I hear, they didn't get over, blah, 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 blah. If they want somebody to have it, they'll just fucking do it.
They will push who they want.
Roman Reigns. We're just talking to everybody talking about Roman, and they forced him upon us. That's why I saw there's a lot of talk on the internet nobody really thinks Roman Reigns sucks. Nobody thought it at the time. Wrestling fans, they do this thing is if you force someone down their throat, they're going to hate them, no matter who it is. It doesn't matter. It could be the best number one wrestler in the world. If you force them upon us, they're going to say they suck, even if they don't suck. That's what wrestling fans do.
But my point about Hunter though was that to bring it all back around to Hunter is that you know, he at least had the company willing to stick by him, in that it was like he was very clearly.
I mean, you have not mentioned that he's married to the fucking boss's daughter, Will Washington.
But I know a lot of people like to use that is that he won his title with China by his side. His first 2 championship reigns were with China. And so
but he didn't get hot until he started boning Stephanie.
He was hot as a part of DX, man.
Yeah,
that's second run with DX.
Hot.
Nah, man. I
he
was
didn't
there.
get hot until he started hitting Stephanie. Let's keep it.
Hold on.
Wait.
So, because the one thing I will say, and that's what I mean by the company.
And this is coming from a Triple H fan. In 1999, there wasn't a better wrestler in the world than Triple H. To me,
when I say the company sticking by him, I specifically mean that because I know it is easy to say that it was just like, hey, you know, he started boning Stephanie, he became a star. But like the one person who I think he had, and this is just my speculation on this, he had well before he had Stephanie was Vince. I think he's always had Vince. And Vince was always just like...
Well, Vince was trying to give it to him in 97. Well, yeah, no, he was trying to give it to him in 96, but the curtain call shit, they forced his hand.
I think Vince always kind of saw Hunter as like the son he always wanted. So
I mean, look where he built him from. Like he was trying to say, I think like if he always says that $1 Million Man is if he was a pro wrestler, but really Triple H is if he was a pro wrestler. You know what I mean? Like he wants that like... You know what I mean? It's weird that he built him from the place that he hates, but really, like, that's his guy. I think that's why he did it. You know what I mean?
But right, I think that was always before it was Stephanie. It was like that was the son he always wanted, and when it was like, oh, you're marrying Stephanie? Welcome to the family. Like it was one of those things.
I've been waiting for you, son.
Yeah, I've been waiting. Yeah, like he was always his guy. Like Hunter likes to take credit for the Montreal Screwjob, and that you know he had Vince's ear on that.
Does. That's a wild thing to take credit for.
Wait, I've never heard that. He takes credit for that?
Yeah, he does.
You know, he the first time he admitted, I think, was like 03, 04, when he was the one that went to Vince and said like, screw him, do what we gotta do. When Vince was like on the fence.
Yeah, he's pretty much saying he orchestrated the like, let's screw this fool.
That's why Bret hates him so much.
Yeah, that's why Bret Hart's like, fuck that fool.
You know, Sean. You know, Bret.
And that's why Bret's wife on Wrestle with Shadows is like, "You're a motherfucker, piece of shit," yelling at fucking Triple H, and he's just like, because she fucking knew for some reason. I don't know if she knew that this fool did it.
Yeah,
and she called him out immediately.
And, you know, and Hunter's joked about that too, because like you know, that time I think it was what pay-per-view was that? God damn it, Breaking Point. 2009.
I don't know how you pulled that from. I don't know where you pulled that from, and I don't know how you pulled that, but
because that show was in Montreal, and DX is they're getting booed, and Hunter was like, "Yeah, about that screw job thing, it was all Sean," and like, and like that was him kind of joking that it was that like he had already admitted that he had Vince's ear on that. So like, but that's 97, right? So he had
politics as usual, man.
So
man,
he had Vince,
wow.
He was close with Vince from 97. Like the fact that he was able to have that discussion with Vince McMahon at that point of and now you know I think Jim Cornette recently admitted on Dark Side of the Ring, same deal, that he was like, yeah, I had some say in that as well, and I also
everybody's things changed. Like, everybody's like, yeah, we were in on it. I don't know. I'm sorry, Bret Hart.
Wow,
I know. Honestly, like now that it's trickling down, it kind of feels like Sean was the one who was just like, all right, I'll do what we got to do.
Yeah, no, seriously, it doesn't feel like it feels like everybody else was like, we have to do this, and Shawn Michaels was just like, all right, I guess I'll be out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why Bret is like straight up like, hey, fuck Triple H. You know, that's the one he feels the strongest about. Like, that's the guy who lied straight to my face, like I had nothing to do with it. And now is admitting that not only did he have something to do with it, but he like helped orchestrate the idea and get Vince on board with it.
Woo, Triple H, he did like has been said, he's done a lot of good, but he's also done a lot of bad.
So, but like I said, Vince has stuck around by Hunter for a long time because, like, remember the first iteration of the game was a lot of people forget that the original incarnation of the game was to make him the evil counterpart to Stone Cold Steve Austin. The idea that they were selling him on was that he is everything Stone Cold has ever claimed to be, but except he's doing it to Stone Cold now. And they would have interviews with Austin, and they're like, but Austin, he's only doing stuff that you do just to you. And like that was like the original incarnation of the game. It was supposed to be that Hunter is now the badass who kicks the shit out of people and is merciless, but he's now doing it to Austin, the guy who has made a name off of doing this to everybody else. And like that was a decent idea, but it didn't really hit till like as Phil mentioned, it was really that reuniting of DX, that other run that they had done when they it was like 3 months before Stephanie. They reunited DX, and it was like, you know what? We're trying to do the serious Hunter thing, but like he still kind of needs a little bit of his comedic element still to like tie into that. So give him a little bit of DX back. And then it was like, oh, you also took this thing we all loved of D-Generation X and you turned all of it heel. And it made us hate the entire fucking group. X-Pac never recovered from that, by the way. Everybody else was able to get another babyface run after that. Not X-Pac.
X-Pac heat was real, buddy.
So fucking real.
That's where X-Pac heat came from.
Yep.
Like you turned the whole group in 1999, and Billy Gunn eventually became babyface again. Road Dogg was pretty much babyface a year later. Hunter had multiple babyface runs after that, but you could not turn X-Pac again after that.
He was dealing with the X Factor, baby.
People were so mad.
I got everything in the eye.
Yes.
That man low blowed Kane, and people were like, "Nah, we are done with.
We're done forever.
We are
no coming back.
There's
Not
no
until
coming
about
back.
a month ago at GCW did they forgive him.
I know, right? They're like, you stole Tori from Kane. We are not having a conversation about X-Pac again.
They wanted X-Pac out of here. But yeah, to your point, like when I started watching like for real, like consistently, that's all I knew was heel DX. I didn't know like the Shawn and Triple H iteration until later. And I hated them. I hated Triple H for a long time. I hated them. He was like Kobe for me for a long time, and that you knew that Kobe was good, but he beat all of your faves, so you hated him. And so it was like I hated Triple H in ring for a long time. He'd come out and cut those super long promos. He would beat everybody that I thought he should have lost to. I couldn't stand it. But no, he was good. That was the thing that irritated me even more about him. It's like, this dude is really good. He just beats everybody. I hate it. Like every time he beat Rock, I was like, no, because I was a big Rock guy. So I was like, God, this guy is always beating Rock, and if it's not him, Austin's always beating him.
Right.
And at least you could justify Austin because Austin's the guy. Austin's the biggest star of that era.
Right.
But Triple H, like, no, I don't want thinking man sledgehammer guy beating him. Get out of here.
It is interesting though that like how much he turned that around, right? Because by 2001, statistically, Hunter was the biggest draw in the company. That he was over Austin, over Rock. Hunter was the biggest draw in WWF in 2001. And what it was the thing Phil was just saying. People hated him, but they hated him so much that he was statistically drawing people to want to see him lose. He was one of like the first major heels of that era to draw on the idea that you just don't like him and you want to see people beat him. And people were paying their dollars for it. They were. Over Rock, over Austin. It was like Rock was the #1 merch seller by that point. But as far as minute-for-minute draws, as far as people tuning in to see the shows, as far as who was at the main event and who was pulling the gate, it was Hunter. And the fact that he was able to pull that off and be such a hated guy, and he was the first heel I ever got into, because that's not true. Rock was the first heel I ever got into, because I was going to say Nation of Domination was the first heel gimmick that I was ever like, nah, this is for me.
But they weren't heels.
Nation of
They were speaking the truth.
Nation of Domination. I was into the Nation. Like the weird thing was, I hated Hunter at that point. I hated Hunter in 1998 when I did feel like this guy, he's not Rock. Like I've told the story on the show that there was a kid at school, and now he's like a hard Trump supporter. But there was a kid at school that I used to get into it with because he was like a DX kid.
A hardcore Trump supporter back then too.
And every time he would see me in the halls, he'd give me a second, and I would look at him and just raise the fist. And that was like DX versus Nation. That was us at school.
It was DX versus NWO at my school. That sounds intense.
Well, it was a summer. It was like right around '98 when DX was feuding with the Nation of Domination, and so like I was into that iteration of the Nation. Are you kidding me? That iteration with Owen Hart, Godfather, Mark Henry, D'Lo, and Rock. I loved that iteration of the Nation. I was so into that group. They were all so cool to me. And yeah, DX was just kind of lame to me. I'm like, they're pissing on the mid. Whose bikes did they pee on?
The DOA.
DOA, that was it.
Yeah.
Disciples of Apocalypse. Right? Yeah, when they're peeing on DOA's bikes and shit. And I was just like, nah, that is not for me.
Man, they were having females in the fan show, in the crowd show their titties. I was DX all day. Come on, man. Y'all are showing titties. Their tape had titties on it. Come on, bro. Like,
yeah, okay. I will say that like you rented that DX tape for Blockbuster Video. Like,
there's titties on this tape, bro. That's my favorite group in the world. Easy. I'm fucking 13, 12 years old. There's no one better.
I don't know, man. I just always hated them, man. Like, I was never a DX fan. Never.
Honestly, though, when when that game gimmick hit, though, that became my guy. I was like, I never turned on Rock. Like, I was always about the Rock. Like, Backlash 2000, I still think is, and SP3 said the same thing this week, that's one of his favorite endings. Same. I was all into that, and when Rock beat Hunter, phenomenal ending. Loved that. But it was really just because of the moment. Hunter, as at the time, though, was still just that dude to me. And yeah, he had some off years. Some real off years. 2002 was that year that you could if you weren't on the internet at the time, and obviously a lot of people weren't because we're old. In 2002, the general consensus in 2002 was that Hunter was a bad wrestler.
Oh, internet hated this guy. Hated him.
Because it went a little bit further in 2002 from he was no longer just the guy that was evil and you don't like him. He was out there having some real bad matches. And like
they set him up at the WrestleMania 18, putting him after Rock and Hogan. Like after that, he was doomed. It was bad. They set him up.
That's how Booker got in trouble the next year, man. Came and kicked the dog on Booker and
exactly.
And he, like I said, I mean bad matches. Because there was a year where WWE in the early Ruthless Aggression era had decided that, you know what, just to really like make sure you knew that we stomped the shit out of WCW, we're going to take everything that WCW had going for it and feed it to Triple H. And all of those matches are going to be shit. It was
the Scott Steiner matches. We're going to start with
Royal Rumble 2003, right? He had the match with Scott Steiner. When
bad.
People talk about bad matches, like today, I don't think a match exists that's that bad as Triple H versus Scott Steiner at Royal Rumble 2003. That is a horrible match.
Right.
Horrible match.
They be talking about like some one botch AEW dark matches. Like this is the worst match you ever seen. No, it's not, brother. Watch some Royal Rumble 2003. You will see some shit.
Go watch Hunter versus Scott Steiner that night. So bad. But then they ran it back at No Way Out. Like, oh, you thought we had enough of Steiner versus Hunter? No, we are not done with this. But then he had the feud with Kevin Nash. None of those matches were. He had one match that was good, and that was the Hell in a Cell. And that was because Mick Foley, the special guest referee, was bumping around that match like crazy. And he's not even like actually in the match. But Mick Foley is taking like the brunt of this, and then they went with Goldberg. He beat Goldberg in a fashion he should not have beaten Goldberg. But it was like, nah, Hunter is gonna take all the top guys from WCW that we got: Booker T, Scott Steiner, Goldberg, Kevin Nash. He's gonna beat them all as a reminder that WCW couldn't hang with what we got going here.
Waited years later to do it again with Sting.
Waited 10 more plus years to do it fucking again. Unreal.
Like, hey, we weren't done here. And like Hunter did eventually, and that was the thing, it wasn't just WCW, right? Because it was also like, hey, I know that we've got this hot act in RVD in 2002, but also He's not a guy that we put on the map,
RVD,
so therefore
motherfucker.
Hunter's beating him too.
RVD was my dude. Oh my god, ECW. When RVD came and he was lit and the fans were behind him and they should have fucking put the belt on him and they didn't. Oh my god.
They waited 4 years too late for that.
When he was in that angle with Austin and Angle.
The triple threat.
Oh my god, man, so hot. They wanted it so bad, but I mean, like Triple H went through a reign of terror, like WrestleMania 19. He did that to Booker. Like he let it have it. Yeah,
but the weird thing was, I feel like again, Hunter's a reader of maybe not the internet, but the sheets. He was definitely a dirt sheet magazine reader. Read all that shit, and in 2004 he was like, nah. I need to be seen as a wrestler again.
Yep.
And it was like I don't know how much of people remember that the reason Benoit, who was like top SmackDown guy at the time, was moved to Raw to win the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania was because Hunter felt like he needed a WrestleMania match. And he was like, if there's anybody I could get a great match with, it is Shawn Michaels and Chris Benoit.
That's a lot of people's favorite triple threat match ever. So
yeah, and that was Hunter trying to change the perception of him. And he spent that year having those matches again. And it was like, nah, I'm going to make sure that people know me as a pro wrestler because the last 2 years people think I'm the worst wrestler in the world.
Right. And then from there, he switched it to the evolution thing to where he started helping to put guys over.
And then
then things started changing to being that person.
I even thought that was fascinating that at WrestleMania 22, the main event was Cena versus Hunter. And the perception at the time, of course, was that Cena can't wrestle. Hunter's the guy who can wrestle. And it was like literally just like 3 years ago. The idea was Hunter's the worst wrestler in the world. Yeah. Because he was just having these stinker main events.
Well, that's how it went for me too. In 2000, he was my favorite, and then 2002, he was my least favorite. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it was phases.
None of this was unfounded. He paid enough attention to what people were saying, and that is why I feel like it's for the guys who do pay attention to that stuff and like the old timers who kind of harp on him like, no, don't pay attention to the internet. Like that's all Hunter did. And he knew what people thought of him. And he played when people thought positively of him, he played that to his advantage. And he knew when people thought negatively of him, he thought, okay, how do I fix this? And how do I make it so that I'm seen as that guy? Even as a heel, he wanted to be seen as a wrestler people respected. Right. And he fixed all of that. And like, and I think he also, in being the guy in NXT, he was very smart about kind of cozying up to wrestling media in the same way that now AEW has done.
Yep.
But he was smart about that. He understands that. He knows it a lot better than I think people give him credit for because he's in the McMahon family. And McMahon prides himself on not doing any of that. But Hunter, he always did. Absolutely did.
Yeah, Triple H is a very smart guy, and he definitely has a great mind for the business. Most of the stuff that I didn't like about him was character stuff. I mean, there's other backstage politics stuff that you hear here and there, but I feel like in terms of the business, he's done more good than bad, at least with NXT and some of the other things that he's introduced.
I agree.
But most of the stuff I didn't like about him was just character stuff, and that was stuff that I was intended to not like.
Yeah.
Right.
So either way, it is a shame that he didn't get to go out kind of doing what he would have wanted to do. I think I could have seen Hunter wanting to maybe pluck one of his NXT projects out and maybe put him over. I could see
Seth Rollins probably.
Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins. Yeah. Well, he put over Seth Rollins, but like he never got to put over Kevin Owens. And like I'm sure that's a guy he would have wanted to and just never got to. The AJ Styles match was something that a lot of people talked about, and AJ Styles had been asking Hunter for every time he saw him. He said, hey, when are we doing the WrestleMania match?
I thought he had at least one more Rock match in him. They teased that match when they did that backstage segment that one time.
Was that October of 2014?
Yeah, no, shout out to Triple H. He's the only of the 10 WrestleManias I've been to. He was the only one that I really, 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 really thought could beat The Undertaker. Like there was some of his near falls where I was like, this is it, bro. He's about to go over. Like all the other times, I was like, yeah, this is Undertaker show. But like those matches, I was like, yo, this guy might really fucking do it.
Also, gotta give him his credit. King of the WrestleMania entrance. Like, I don't know if anybody has consistently had as many like great WrestleMania entrances as him. Just that initial feud with Shawn Michaels was still, one of the greatest feuds of all time, in my opinion. Yeah, he's done a lot of great things. It was certain times when he was on TV that I would like audibly boo, like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That worst champion ever sign that we talked about last week, that was for Hunter. That was me holding up a sign. Like, I definitely was not a fan of that title reign that he was in at the time, and I was like mad about it.
Yeah, that's a part of his legacy. Then I'm sure hearing what Phil said, he'd be very happy to know that Phil hated him because of his character. That's that was his job.
Man, he doesn't care.
He definitely doesn't care. Yeah, he doesn't care.
But I can't wait for his biggest fan to show up in WWE and Cody Rhodes and have a big, super long WrestleMania entrance and pedigree somebody by the end of the night.
Is he gonna keep doing the? So of course that's a story that's being talked about. And I'm glad. I'm actually glad because there's no effect of what's going on if he doesn't. But WrestleVotes reported yesterday that the talk is that Cody Rhodes is going to come in as AEW Cody. He's gonna have the jacket, the theme, the pyro, all of it.
Nice.
If he doesn't use Kingdom, I was thinking about this the other day. He should just come out to Drake's Over. Just don't.
So, because I feel like I get why he would want to do all of that, and I get why Vince would want to do all of that because there's very little effect in just bringing him out, smoke and mirrors. And
it's stupid. Like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and just like, hey, you remember this guy from 10 years ago? He's back. Like, that's not the effect of what you want. You want the effect of being able to say, this top guy from the other company, the company that's supposedly better than us, we got him and brought him over here. And that would have way more of an effect. And apparently it's going to be the opening segment on Raw this week. So, like, they want to start off hot and get us going, like, immediately. So,
I hope so after that awful, terrible SmackDown I just watched last night.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, just have him come out. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm doing me.
I'm living life right now, man. Cody's just posing. Pyro's going off in it's far promo. But, all right, yeah, man, I'm into it. Do it, yo. Come on, man. That's right.
And then FightfulSelect.com also reported, and I didn't even consider this would be some of the incentive of why he would have jumped, but that he is going to be producing a Dusty Rhodes documentary, and that he
what a fucking card to play over there. Yo, come through. You could produce a fucking documentary for your dad. Oh my God, these guys are businessmen. I'm telling you.
And nobody else can do that.
No,
you ain't got that footage in AEW. You don't have none of that.
We got all you need back here, brother. Look at all these tapes we got. We got all your dad stuff. Anything you want.
Everything that we got Dusty's entire career here. Most of it. We got like 90% of Dusty's career.
You can't compete with Dusty's old tapes, man. You can't compete with that.
We also got most of Dustin's career. And sorry, we got 10 years of your career.
Yeah,
like, at the end of the day,
man, he can eventually do a War Games match. There's
like, yeah. You can't. Like, it's hard to compete with that. It's hard to compete.
You want the Rhodes legacy. I know that you wanted to start the Rhodes Empire elsewhere, but the fact is, as far as the legacy of the Rhodes are concerned, we got all of that shit.
They're going to bring back the Great American Bash for him. Like, all the Dusty, like, everything that Dusty did, they're going to bring it back for him. You can have whatever you want, Cody. Come on. That's a smart fucking move. I've never thought about that.
You saw what Teal said. Teal said that she tweeted, hey, these next upcoming moves that you're going to see is stuff my dad would be proud of. And it's like, now based off of what Fightful Select reported, it's like, okay, I kind of see the move a little bit. Like, if you were giving Cody free reign over, this is all the stuff that
over your family's
stuff. Like, you want to produce the Dusty stuff. Like, we will let you produce it.
Right.
You get to produce the Dusty legacy of Rhodes, and it's like, that's hard to beat. And so if he's coming out though this Monday and they're gonna open Raw with it, and they even at least told us they were opening Raw with it when Seth Rollins said on Raw this week,
I'm hijacking the next show.
He said there will not be a Monday Night Raw till I get my match at WrestleMania, and I thought, thank you for giving it to us first thing, because I'm not sticking around another.
No, I'm not sticking around to the end, bro. I'm not watching 3 hours of this. Bring it immediately in.
Where I'm waiting for it and then it don't happen at the end. Nope. Start the show off. Just start it. Show needs to start with Seth Rollins in the ring saying it's not happening until
again they did that awful shit last night. They fucking built a whole show of Brock Lesnar being in Roman Reigns' fucking locker room for 2 hours. They built this show. They built this showdown. They built whatever this is for 2 straight hours. At the end, he runs out. Roman runs, and then he just hits a bunch of security guards. You guys did a Vince Russo tie-in show, but you didn't even fucking tie in the tie-in. What are you doing out there, bro? It's
I want to see
out here.
Seth Rollins sitting in the ring. And he's like, I just want my moment. I just want my Mania match. And then all of a sudden, wrestling has more than one royal family.
I know way too many people here right now that I didn't know. That's a bar. That's a bar, man. He got.
Who the fuck are y'all? Come on, man.
That's hard.
Come on, man. He's got to do it, man. License over, bro.
Oh, that's hella funny. Cody's coming. Cody's out here, man. Cody's about to be Cody.
Be really interesting though to see that American Nightmare logo. Here, I mean, I want to see them do the absurdity.
Is Brandy coming? I've heard that there was some rumors that she wasn't coming. Like, what's going on?
The talk is that she's not involved in any of this. That she,
man,
although
Brandy's living it up, bro.
Although it wouldn't be the same. Like, if you're trying to get the entire AEW effect, and
dude, you gotta have his wife, man.
I was thinking about this too, though. One of the things that I think Cody's gonna find some satisfaction in. It may not last forever. It may only last a month. But the fact is, because I think Phil's pretty angry about this too. But the fact is, back in January, you were building really solidly to a Seth Rollins face turn, and then all of like you had him come out strongly at the Royal Rumble, and he, and then all of a sudden it just feels like these last couple of weeks they're like, nah, hard heel. We're even gonna pipe in booze just to make sure you know that you're not supposed to like Seth Rollins, and so Cody is gonna come out with all of that shit. He's gonna have the jacket. He's gonna have the Homelander look. He's gonna have the music, the pyro, all of it. He might even raise from the stage. Who knows? And the fans are going to cheer.
Man, something about that in Rollins, man. See, Rollins is going to blow up on you guys and start flipping tables and stuff over, man. He's sick of y'all.
He is definitely sick of y'all.
But
he's
like, it's the fact is he might end up getting what he wants. The crowds the last 2 weeks have been chanting Cody. They were chanting Cody sucks the last time he was seen in AEW. So like, the one thought we had was, what if he goes to WWE and turns heel? But the other thought that we weren't even considering is, what if he just goes to WWE and gets the face run that he's been wanting without getting booed?
See, my thing is, I think that the fans are going to turn on him.
Oh yeah,
they will eventually.
Couple of months. But
fans are definitely going to turn on him.
But the fact is, right now, he is going to come in and be a babyface. And
listen, if he's been building all of this, doing that Tiger Driver all this time just to pull this pedigree off at WrestleMania,
beautiful.
I'm just gonna call him a genius, man. Like,
beautiful.
I'm sorry.
He's setting this up.
There's a pedigree at WrestleMania.
He's been setting this up for so long against Seth Rollins. Oh my god!
If he does the pedigree at WrestleMania, and that's the payoff to literally everything that's happened.
Yo, I'm telling you, I'm gonna call him a genius if that happens. Like if WrestleMania kicks off and he's like the opening match and he turns and there's like a big throne that turns around with him in it and he comes out and does that,
man.
I'm just gonna be like, get out of here.
If he does the throne, but instead of smashing it, he's sitting in it.
It's out.
We can say all this shit we've wanted to say for the last year or so about how lame Cody has been and like the Go-Go feud, all that shit.
Yo, if he does that, I'm gonna cry laughing.
He hit the other one with the sledgehammer and the pull up sitting in it. We out of here. Cody ain't playing with y'all. I'm really sad about Brandy though. You need Brandy. You guys better sign fucking Brandy.
Brandy's good, man. She just made her deal so that she could still do shot of Brandy.
Brandy is out there getting it. She out there getting to the money, man. Shout out to Brandy.
We still want you on the pod, by the way, Brandy. Make that happen.
Brandy, you been waiting, girl. Come on.
But hey,
you're a free agent now.
Shout out Queen of the Ring. She says the
homie Alex. We about to tear Where are we gonna be at? Dallas, Texas.
Where are we gonna be?
I'll be trying to forget about Texas, bro. Yeah, shit.
She said the classic DM opener is either hey or hi, can I ask you a question? AKA no game. Anyway, see y'all next
so you're
week.
saying that doesn't work, Alex? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? That's trash. Can I ask you what's the question? You know what I mean?
Kate
What's your
says,
favorite suplex?
Kate says I joined late, and the first thing I hear is Red say, "Nobody cares. I love you guys so much."
And I wasn't
Thank
talking
you.
about Impact this time.
Yeah. Jay says random, but Lance Archer's hair is cultural appropriation. I'm distracted by it every time. He's talking about the braids.
All right, man.
And hey, we got some humper chats as well.
Oh shit!
Wow.
That one got me good. I don't know why that was so funny.
Wow.
There is culture appropriation.
Wow.
Continuing with the humper chats. Maybe why does this shit keep signing me out of humper chats? I'm like so mad about this.
Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
Yeah,
Hump.
I've been trying to get to him. And it angers me every single time because it's like sometimes it works and then sometimes it's just like, nah, you ain't getting into these humper chats. But I am.
I love how you just left the humper chat up so we could just continue to see Lance Archer's hair.
My bad, leaving the super chat up.
The big red braid. I'm dead, dude. That's so funny.
Oh my god, dude.
You go to the shop to get it done up. Where he live at? I think he lives in Atlanta.
Whoever does his hair is definitely black. It's definitely a black woman braiding his
definitely.
hair like that. There's no way. I wouldn't believe it if he told me otherwise.
He like, nah, my girl do it, bro.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm working on pulling those up. Thank you for the humper chats that were sent, by the way. I am in that process now.
He's on his way to humper chat. So yeah, when are we gonna talk about us going to this fucking place where they carry guns for fun?
We are. You know, I had somebody ask me, by the way, to buy him a gun while I was out there because they were like,
"What?"
Man, he was like, "Look, they just sell them in like vending machines. Just like, get me one." And
so what do you expect you to do? To bring it back in your fucking bag?
Like, man, I'm not trying to take that shit through TSA. Are you insane?
You heard what happened to Joel Santana and not to Sonny from WWE?
Nah, man. We not having Will going to the airport with the burner.
Hell no. No way.
No. And I'm definitely not getting in no car with you in Texas with the burner in his bag.
Hell no way.
I'm not doing it. I straight up said,
not in a million years.
Yeah, there's zero chance.
That's wild. Hey, bring me back a souvenir, a gun. That's crazy.
Nah. I get you one of those I Heart Texas shirts.
Word, yes. I will bring you back I Heart Texas shirt and pin and hat, but the blicky gotta stay.
Yep,
bro.
nope. Zero chance.
Imagine, that gun in my bag's for my friend. He wanted it.
As a matter of fact, as people know, you know, I have done a shit ton of travel over the last few months. Finally got my TSA pre-check. It just came through yesterday. So
guess who has a dumb early flight? Guess who flight shows up at 1 a.m.?
What? Why are you flying in so early, bro?
Because it's me.
What are you gonna do?
It's me. It's me, Phil. That's what I do.
So wait, what time?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have no idea what I do. I land at 1 a.m. in Texas.
What?
On Thursday morning?
Yes, you guys. Yes.
So
yes.
I get in last. I get in at 10 a.m.
Flights hate me. That's why.
Yeah, I think I'm 9:30. So
no, honestly, because I waited to really late. I got my ticket like 3 days ago, I think.
Come on, man. See,
money is crazy out here.
Don't procrastinate, man.
I had to, man. Come on, damn it. I'm gonna be there. I'll take being in the airport or whatever. I'm gonna.
What are you gonna do for like 8 hours then?
8 hours. I mean.
You're gonna just like sleep Texas. Under some newspaper?
No, it's Texas. There's some things. I'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it.
Hey, we
take a nap in the airport. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's wrestling.
Some Hunter super chats for the moment. We got however much he politicked or buried, he's still one of the coolest dudes ever. IMHO. That was from Tremaine, by the way. Kurt Benoit says, interesting point. Royal Rumble 03 had that train wreck, but also my favorite match of all time, which I'm guessing.
He's like, this is my favorite match so much. This is my screen name. That's how much I like this.
That's why you named that way. Yeah, Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit.
That is a brave screen name, my friend.
It's very. Kurt Angle and Redacted does bang though. That match is insane.
Yeah, that was unfortunately that was before. There's just one thing that Hunter brought to the business that a lot of people don't give him a lot of credit for, but WrestleMania 20, I think the thing that really introduced to mainstream pro wrestling and introduced to fans that is now just the norm was the dramatic tap out. That before that there wasn't a big, tap outs were almost kind of seen as flat finishes for a long time.
Yep.
That somebody taps out and it's like, oh, that kind of deflated.
Boring.
But Hunter basically building up the drama. Everybody's on the edge of their seat. Everybody's on the edge of their seat. He taps and the crowd pops. That was really born in that moment.
Right. Because WWE had got us used to like I quit matches with the damn mic saying I quit. And, so like they weren't used to like tap outs and shit. You're right.
Yeah. And before 97, they weren't using the tap out at all. It was just to ask him, does he quit? And then they quit. But like,
shout out to Taz. He said that's his. He said he brought the tap out to pro wrestling. So,
well, Ken Shamrock would argue he did. So, I guess let them have a.
Who did it, Taz? I know you'll say it. You're on the internet. Were you first? Were you before Ken Shamrock? Let's see. Who knows?
Let them have a match for it, and win via tap out. But
look at this guy booking matches on the show.
Deontay says, "I'm with Phil. For me, it was the Authority. I had nightmares 8 years ago. They were at my college. Steph was the dean. Love Hunter, but Authority.
Steph was the dean."
Yeah. Derek says, agree with Reg. Triple H was the only one I thought was going to beat Undertaker, especially after they rematched. I was 100%.
Bro, that Hell in a Cell match, I was like, he's winning. There's no way Undertaker. This is it. And
you know what's funny is after he lost, after Taker lost, the thought was, oh, well, then nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to do it. If it wasn't Hunter in that moment,
that's exactly how I felt. Like when the Brock Lesnar match, during the streak, I was at that WrestleMania, and I didn't believe for 1 second that Brock Lesnar was going to beat him. Even when it happened, it's like 1, 2, 3. Like the everything that happened is real. The whole crowd was like dead silent. That's the deadest silent I've ever heard a wrestling show. So like we're all just like. And then everybody, like, this is the fastest I've ever seen theories happen, like, at a live wrestling show. Everyone had their own theory. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, this thing, like, I was like, dude, we're watching it. How do you know? What are y'all talking about?
Well, you think they just, like, whipped up that 21-1 graphic? Like,
yes, that's what I'm saying. It's a graphic, dude. Like, I was like, nothing's going to happen in this show that's not supposed to happen, you guys. This is the most overproduced company in the fucking world. Yeah. Just like it was great though, but like so I didn't even believe that Brock Lesnar was gonna fucking go over, and that's why I still love that Brock Lesnar was the one. That moment was insane. That's top 5 wrestling moment ever right there.
The only thing I'm willing to believe as far as theories are concerned, and I think they may have confirmed that, was that the ref was not aware until the last like 5 seconds, because you can see that something was said to the ref like right beforehand.
This is a 3.
Yeah, which is count the 3. Because
that sounds a referee not knowing the finish sounds wild.
Well,
to
the
me,
hard
in WWE.
thing. Well, yeah, because the hard thing is, I'm sure if I were a ref, I would be like, because typically refs are instructed, especially in WWE, to no matter what.
But if the big guy's saying you better fucking count this 3 or you'll die when you get back here, I'm counting the 3.
Yeah, but they're usually instructed to count the match as if it were real, because you don't want to end up stopping. Earl Hebner did that one time, right? Where it was like he screwed up that night The Rock was supposed to win the WWE title. But I'm sure the streak was one of those ones where refs were like, no matter what, you don't count the 3 because you're going to fuck up the streak. So I'm sure telling a ref like in the match, mid-match of, actually, you're going to count this 3. And like, I'm going to do what?
What? To the Undertaker? No, I'm not. No way. I'm not doing that.
So, I mean, there have been a couple of instances where refs weren't fully aware of the finish. But told in the earpiece.
Right. But I wouldn't think of fucking the streak. That sounds crazy.
I don't know.
That was a fucking moment though, man. I love that. If you watch WrestleMania, you could see me on that show being like, whoa, this shit is crazy. Like there was 5 minutes where I was just like,
now, did Reg just lose a lot of weight? Is that what you were going with that,
Phil? Were you sitting behind Ellis the whole time? Ellis is doing the whole shocked face. And
no, I was sitting higher. I was sitting higher up in the thing.
Nah, I mean, I I think that match was mostly doo-doo because like the crowd wasn't all that.
Just like I said, we didn't care. We didn't care about the match.
Care.
The build-up was shitty. Everything was dumb. Nobody cared about it.
This is where I will give them credit. I think the build-up was excellent in hindsight. I think the build-up was one of those things where going into it, you're thinking, "Oh, Brock ain't winning, so this
no way
doesn't matter." Because the build-up was Taker picked a fight with Brock, and Paul trying to tell Taker, you made a mistake because he's going to end your streak. And, we're watching this like, we've seen this before. This has all happened. But now in hindsight, you go back and watch it, and it's like, no, Paul was trying to tell you all along, why did you challenge Brock Lesnar? He's going to end the streak.
He's going to beat you.
Yeah. And now I watched all of that back. I went back and watched all those Raws in hindsight, and I thought, this was like halfway brilliant because Paul Heyman was trying to warn us this whole time.
That is dope. I've never went back and watched all that.
Like Taker picked a fight with Brock. Like all the other times, Brock, they all picked Taker. They all went to challenge him, but this was the rare time Taker picked Brock, and Brock ended up beating him.
And they tied in the UFC thing where Undertaker was like, "Want to do it?" I love that clip.
I love it. Like I thought it was a weak build going into it. In hindsight, worked out. Tremaine says, Will just reminded me, Cody comes up the elevator, all you hear is, who's that jumping out the sky? CODY.
Wow.
Cody Rhodes, here we go.
Yo. I mean,
Cody, you got options on these themes, big bro. It could be a number of things.
I'm telling you, man.
Nathan says
Over's the one though. Over would be hard.
Speaking of Texas, shout out to MJF for burying Jesus down there. Another great promo from him.
MJF
is a wild dude, man.
He is a wild boy,
Ferthausen says Swerve and Starks entrances has more charisma than the NXT 2.0 roster.
That's just an actual fact. Yeah.
But you know what? We can take it into that because that's actually our next topic. Starks and Swerve main evented Rampage this week for the FTW World Championship.
Shit was tight. The segment with Mark Henry, Swerve, Starks, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Oh my god, I loved it.
I thought that was probably Swerve's strongest promo work since being in AEW. And
Starks was a menace.
Yeah, because I like the comeback line. I like Starks basically saying that the last house you were in evicted you.
Man,
so,
menace.
And Swerve's comeback on that, and then
that segment was awesome.
Yeah,
I love that segment.
And I like Mark Henry like straight up getting mad. As it ended. Look, here's the thing. Rampage these last couple of weeks has been ending blacker than Rampage than AEW has ended in a while. This match was reffed by Stephon Smith. The Mark Henry
introed us. Yep.
Yeah. I was very happy seeing these guys do their thing. And then on top of that, Austin is a crowd. Austin is so lit.
Texas, we talked about San Antonio. Fucking Texas, dude.
We talked about San Antonio last week, but Austin is lit. That crowd,
no, Austin was on fire, bro. They were crazy.
They were like, nah, we are not. That pop that the Hardys got was insane.
Crazy.
But the fact is, I've been saying for a while, and this is why I'm really interested in how AEW does on those West Coast shows, that for the most part, Rampage tends to not have the hottest crowds because typically, I was at the New York show and I felt like that crowd had no energy left. But at the same time, it's also almost midnight right now, and like we're still here trying to watch wrestling.
Grand Slam was long.
Yeah, and it's like we're still trying to watch wrestling here, and it's almost midnight. Like,
but when you're the coast, it's time over here,
but I
baby.
The further west you head, the liver the crowds are, even for Rampage. I even thought the Chicago Rampage crowd was really good. As you enter the Central Time Zone, and it's not as late, and them Texas shows have had lit Rampage crowds, which is why I'm thinking like, man, are you kidding me? It won't even be 7:00
in LA. We're about to be super duper lit. The most lit crowd you've ever seen. Been waiting for this shit for 3 years. Oh my god, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be crazy.
And who knows? CM Punk might be walking in there as champ. I think he will be, honestly. I think he's going to beat Hangman. But Starks and Swerve went out there. They had I thought, a really solid main event. I thought that this was the perfect match to showcase. Like, Tony Nese was a good match, but it was like fans don't really buy Tony Nese in AEW right now because hasn't been much to Tony Nese. Whereas Ricky Starks is somebody who is a major factor in AEW.
Yep.
And so, and Ricky Starks has also been having some really good FTW title defenses.
He's incredible.
Yes.
That fucking finish to that Jay Lethal was still, every time they show that finish, I'm like, oh my God, that was so good.
Yeah, that is perfect. Yeah, so he had that one though. He had the one with Matt Sydal, and he's had the one with Brian Cage, the street fight. That was really good.
Yeah.
And fact is, I think Ricky Starks is starting to have a solid FTW title reign, and the defenses have been good. So I was like ready for this one to be good, but I wasn't anticipating the crowd being as into it as they were. Because
when Swerve's entrance, man, man,
they were into it. They were chanting Swerve along with it. But then on top of that, Ricky Starks, of course, as they mentioned, Austin is his second home, and there was "Let's go Ricky, let's go Swerve," and I just thought,
hot.
Yeah,
you got this
dueling chants were dope.
Yeah, into these dueling chants, they were into both guys, and it felt like, you know, they got the obligatory "This is awesome" chant.
Yeah.
I was just happy to see them get that main event.
Swerve did that fucking flip off the ropes, and I was like, I forgot this guy can do high flying too. That's funny. He chooses not to do these things just because he doesn't want them, and it's not really his thing. But when he does it, he can do it. It's crazy.
Man, that running shooting star he did off the apron.
Yeah,
fire.
Great.
Yeah.
Fire.
No, it was great stuff. And then, of course, there's
Powerhouse.
Interference from Powerhouse.
You better stop it.
And that results in the Rochambeau 1, 2, 3. Ricky Starks wins. And
everyone doesn't have to have winning streaks when you come in.
Well, I think it is the AEW is doing the most to make sure that you know that tenure matters here, and it's one of those like. But the thing is, this was still a main event. I feel like Swerve was presented as a big deal and was presented as a threat. He had the match won until Hobbs interfered. But at the same time,
why did people think he was going to win this match though? I was confused.
I have
by
no
that.
idea.
Because
I'm very confused too.
Did people really think his first title win was going to be the FTW title?
They thought so, Phil. That doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
No, come on, guys.
I like I said the week after Swerve came in, I feel like, look, I want to see it built. I want to see it done right. I do want to see him at the top of the company.
AEW World Champion Swerve or bust. You saw it last night. Crowd loves it. That shit was hot. I'm
ready.
I don't care about nothing else but that World Championship.
I want to see it done right though. I want to see him. I want to see him get there in the same way that I got to see Kenny get there, that I got to see anybody else get there, and I want to see
nice
it done
build
right.
up. I get you.
I want to see him built up. I want to see him. And like I said, in a company that's kind of established that tenure matters. Every champion right now, other than Jade, has been there a while and got time to get there. So I'm ready to. But at the same time, I'm gonna speak to the fire. Anything done wrong with him, you are gonna hear.
You about to hear about it
the same way you heard about it. The moment anything went wrong in NXT, I was like.
And then this bomb match last night seems to be setting up a pretty incredible tag team contest here.
Yeah,
Woo!
I want to see that.
Yes.
We want to see it.
We want to see it so much, very bad. The Grapsody, I said the Righteous Reg Invitational last night, but it's the really Grapsody Invitational tag team match that they're going to have here. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. Thank you to us.
Yes, and loved it. Love the entrances. I think Big Pressure is a great entrance theme. Shout out.
I like how they had Ricky Starks had an entourage.
Which like you could say, like people were already tweeting. They're like, these all look like guys that are about to get just like the shit beat out of them by
Of
Keith
course,
Lee.
they're not gonna really let Ricky Starks barber get beat up because
Starks barber.
Yeah. RH says a giveaway of temporary Cody neck tattoos.
Yo,
that's but also no, I don't know, maybe.
Hey, we did get the humper chats though. Shout out to Joel Pearl who said
shout out Joel.
So we got one from Van Twinblade. Van Twinblade always giving us the indie updates.
Glory Pearl.
Glory Pro at Collective Card. Got Warhorse versus Josh Alexander. Jake Something versus Max the Impaler. Tootie versus Janai Kai. Outlaw Brian Keith. We also got.
I think that show's at 11 a.m. I'm trying to go from the airport to get to that show at 11 a.m. I think that's what's
on
going
Thursday
on with my life. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even going to try and chance that. Myron Reed, Carlos Romo, Shane Saber, Danny Jones in a Four Corners match.
Wrestling next week. Oh my God, my element. Oh my goodness, I can't fucking wait, dude.
And
Holy shit.
Vega and Fitchett versus No Remorse Corps of Rocky Romero and Davey Richards. That is a name I have not heard in forever. Of the No Remorse Corps. And then DB Scum says, shout out to you guys. Appreciate what you do. I hope everyone has a great day. As the wise philosopher Andrade El Idolo says, take it easy.
How you know?
How do you know?
He said,
how you know?
He said, because how you know.
Andrade is fucking funny, dude. He's been killing it. I'm so happy that they just let him talk. It's so much better than trying to do this translation shit and showing subtitles and shit. Just let this man talk, bro.
We got words about people who won't just let someone talk.
Yeah. No, and honestly though, there are people who are like really down on it, and I feel like those are people who would also like complain when they have like a classmate who like barely speaks English. Like here's the thing. I grew up in Los Angeles, so like
California.
I was in a it was an immersion class from kindergarten. It was offered in LA, Southern California, where our kindergarten teacher spoke both English and Spanish, and that was one. So like I've grown up around.
I'm from Bakersfield, California. Like 90% of my schools were Latinos, so those are my homies for life. Latinos, so
I feel
let
like
them talk, let them shine.
Yeah, and maybe it's just something I grew to understand, because it feels weird to me when people are like, oh, I barely understand them. I'm like, I understand them perfectly. But I also have friends whose English was their second language, and it was, I don't know, it wasn't the cleanest, but I got what they were trying to say.
Yeah, you get everything they're saying. It's not, those are those people that are just like, anybody that doesn't like it, you know why they don't like it.
So when I hear Andrade, I'm just like, nah, I get it. I get what he's saying. It ain't perfect, but if y'all not grown up around Mexicans, like I did, and it was... I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
So many Mexican friends. Oh my God, I love all my Mexican friends. Those are the homies.
And then Denver is the same way, though. By the way, Denver is a stone's throw away from New Mexico, which is a stone's throw away from Mexico. So like it is. I think it's funny when I head up north. I'm in like every time I'm in Michigan and people are like, let's get Mexican food, and I'm like, y'all ain't anywhere near Mexico. Like
yeah, nobody want that.
The further I get away from Mexico, I'm like, the worse the Mexican food I notice.
Yes.
But
makes sense. Mexican food in Michigan, that sounds awful.
It does. That sounds extra trash.
No, you gotta have but at the same time though, sure, the Canadian food is great, but the
poutine's smacking over there. Huh?
But yeah, so that's that. Dylan D says, first show getting back into wrestling was PWX/Evolve doubleheader. I saw Darius Lockhart get a room full of white folk in Concord, North Carolina, to put up the fist. Then Strickland and AR Fox crush it. Love the show. Love you guys.
Shout out to all those guys you just said. Darius Lockhart, he is incredible. Everything he's been doing in NWA is dope. AR Fox is incredible. I'm so happy that he's going to be at the Collective and I get to see him wrestle next weekend. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I didn't think, if you had asked me any years ago that AR Fox's legacy on the business was going to end up being his trainees and not.
I think that threw everybody for a loop. I don't think anyone expected that. Like, his training, he trained Austin Theory. He is the reason that Austin Theory is wrestling in a WrestleMania match. AR Fox. So
we're seeing AR Fox's influence across the business, but not necessarily seeing him. I thought he was going to be the guy that we saw everywhere. Right. But we're seeing people
there were some things and people can't get over these things, so
that's just not what I would have thought.
It's politics as usual for sure, but he's still out there and he's still turning it up and he's gonna have a legacy regardless of what the thing. So shout out to AR Fox, man. We were just talking about that kill shot in Lucha Underground again, I talked about it in the magazine too. If you haven't seen this death match between Killshot, who is Shane Swerve Strickland, and AR Fox, who is Dante Fox on the show, you have to. It like Black Death match, nasty. It's disgusting, but you have to see it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It like led the way. When you see death matches on AEW, they don't do this. They weren't doing this, and they did this on Lucha Underground. You know?
I will tell you, it makes me a little bit happy though that people aren't aware that Swerve's also a deathmatch wrestler, because the first time he does it in AEW.
Oh, I remember that one picture of his back. He did that match in CZW.
I
think he did that. Yeah, in his back. Oh my God, I forgot about that. That image just flashed across my brain.
There's a lot of people
again.
who don't know, who might be finding out from us having this conversation right now. That Swerve's also a deathmatch wrestler.
He does everything.
He's a former CZW world champion, so
he can do it all, man. When I say that I think Swerve's one of the best in the world, he can do it all, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think when he and Darby eventually have their match in AEW, they are going to kill each other. And people are going to be shocked. And I think the part that's going to shock people is mostly the fact that it's going to be kind of a jarring image because, obviously we see it quite a bit on the indies. Hoodfoot's making a great name for himself.
Shout out to Hoodfoot. He got some big match against Madman Pondo.
On the mainstream level of pro wrestling is concerned, we've never really gotten to see black wrestlers do that. And really, like, ever. The fact that as
mainstream, not at all.
No, we haven't. Like, and I feel like the moment Swerve is kind of the guy to do it on like national TV, it's going to be a jarring image because it's going to be something you're not used to seeing. But
he is not. I think from what I've gotten, he is not opposed to the idea. If the idea is presented in a perfect way, he'll do it. Pretty much so.
Yeah. Where this is what I'm
like.
Just
if they come up with a bomb ass idea, he's gonna be in. So the Darby matches are gonna be. It's funny, they've been building this without even saying anything to each other, without anything. They've been building this match for so many years.
They've been building with each other. Yeah, because they already did it, by the way, in Defy. Yeah. But they are going to turn back around, and him and Darby are going to kill each other on TV.
They are.
And it's going to be kind of surprising and shocking to see. A couple more Humper chats. Dylan says, oh no, I just read Dylan, sorry. Life of Deem says, happy Saturday, fellas, just showing some support. This is the only podcast to check out on time every week. See you guys has inspired me to create.
Some of y'all be here before we do.
Yeah, he said, keep up all the amazing work. Shout out Deem. We met Deem, of course, in Orlando.
Loved it.
It's a great time talking with Deem.
One of my favorite moments of Revolution Weekend was talking with Deem.
Yep. D-Lo Diggs says, sup, fellas. Quickly in here, like a block from Ryback. I'm like, I didn't get blocked by Ryback. I'm shocked.
I'm not blocked either. I don't know why.
But no,
I don't tweet him.
My favorite Triple H moment was him chasing Lillian on Raw when she called him the former world champion. Shout out to the King of Kings.
That shit is so funny, dude.
For the banger theme.
Triple H has a lot of moments like that too. Just like this, like he wanted to have fun one day or one night on Raw, so he did this thing. Like you can always get one of those from him. What a guy, man. What's your favorite Triple H match? Did everybody say? Is it Triple H and Cactus Jack like mine is? Because like that, I think that's a top 5 WWE match for me. That match is just, bro, what the hell?
Probably it's either the HBK match from SummerSlam, I think that was
the Unsanctioned one. That one's fire.
Or the ladder match with Rock.
I say just for the moment, there's 2. I think Backlash versus Rock is
the Iron Man.
No, the one before that.
The one before that.
Yeah, with Austin's interference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think just for the moment of, I remember screaming edge of my seat. I think my dad might have it on video somewhere. Like he recorded me. I was just so.
You got to put this side by side with the Billy crying one, man. Come on, you got to get that content going,
just,
baby.
Like screaming my head off when Austin made his way out and saved Rock, and then Linda McMahon gets a pop for shoving Stephanie, and Earl Hebner gets the pop of his career. Like all of that was just moments, and I love all of that. So that's up there for me. I am a really big fan though of WrestleMania 22's main event, and a big part of that was, now in hindsight, I hate that match gave WWE the balls to stick it to fans.
Yeah.
Because that match was the first time they had ever like kind of stuck it to the fans, where they were like, you know, fans were booing Cena for months prior to that, and this was like the early months of Cena getting booed, so people thought the WWE was going to bail on Cena at that point. Of like, hey, we've rejected him, we've told you we don't like him, and so fans were like,
here comes Triple H to save us.
Yeah, here comes Hunter, the same Hunter, by the way, that we were complaining about just like a year before. But here comes Hunter to save us. King of Kings back on his throne. Raw's going to return back to normal, and we'll flush Cena down. Forget that ever happened. That was a failed experiment. All of that. And, you know, every fan, like, my favorite shot is that one fan who is standing, the moment Hunter taps out and they show that fan who's like, they show that because like everybody was certain. Hell, the night before at the Hall of Fame, they cut to a shot of Cena, and it was, oh no, I remember now. It was when William Refrigerator Perry was being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And Cena was inducting him, and the crowd is chanting, "One more night, one more night," because everybody's like, tomorrow night, it's over. We're done with John Cena, and Hunter's back. And when the moment Hunter tapped out, and the crowd is just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, we got about 13 more years of this, you guys. You guys relax. Strap in.
Yeah. What did y'all just do? But the best part is, JR on commentary, I thought did masterful work here, because JR spent the whole show selling the fans as heels and selling the fans as the heels. It was like, John Cena is in enemy territory here. John Cena is not only working against Hunter, who, as he said, because it was only a year before that, JR literally faced Triple H in a match. And JR was like, look, Hunter's not my favorite. He's not a guy I would have over for dinner, but I do believe that he is a great wrestler. And then but the moment Cena taps Hunter out, and JR is like, John Cena just proved that his Spaldings are bigger than anybody's in Chicago's. And it was like, he literally sold Chicago his heels. Yeah. He literally told the whole world.
I mean, Chicago fans are heels, right, Phil?
Like, and it came back to bite him when my man took that title and ran with it in 2011. Thank you.
that to me is, again, I love that moment. I wish it was kind of a standalone moment, because I feel like that was the moment that Vince kind of stood up and went, hey, it wasn't that bad. Right. You know, we didn't listen to the fans.
We can not listen, continue to not listen to them.
Yeah, it was like, we didn't listen to the fans there, and things are fine.
Yeah.
And then from then on, they were like, you know what? Fuck them
y'all.
fans.
Yeah.
that was the moment that gave him the balls to do it. But at the time, it was a unique moment, because WWE was so about, like, we listen to the voices of the fans and all of that. And the first time they didn't do it, it was like, hey, this was kind of cool. This was fun. And Hunter did his job there, because he came in this ridiculous entrance. The King of Kings, he had the Conan entrance. And it was like, Hunter had convinced everybody that he is coming in to win this damn match. And it was a legitimate shocker when he not only lost, he lost clean. There was no shenanigans. There was nothing. It was just a straight up, he just tapped out to John Cena.
Just lost.
So that's one of my favorites.
And I mean, of course, the Taker match, the cage matches.
Yeah.
Probably his best WrestleMania match.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan of that one as well. Let's see. We got another super duper chat from Nathan.
Now we miss Cena. Yeah, that's funny. The spin that they've put on Cena is hilarious, man.
He said, Chicago Mexican food is great, an exception to the rules.
Nah, man, it depends on where you go in the city, man. Like, especially like West Side now. Don't go there at certain times of night, of course, but, you know.
Careful trying to get a burrito, bro.
But no. Chicago Mexican food is great.
Tom says, do you think Swerve gets the TNT before the world title? P.S. Desperate for Punk to win at Double or Nothing so Eddie can take it at full gear. I mean, I wasn't sure that Punk was going to even get the title shot, but now everything is making sense for him to do it. And I think, I think he's, because at first I was like, is it too soon? And then I thought, no,
it's not.
He will have actually completed the AEW pay-per-view cycle. He came in All Out or Darby, Full Gear, Kingston, MJF at Revolution, and now the fourth pay-per-view of the AEW cycle. He completed it with all victories. He worked his way there.
Yep.
And like, honestly,
and a CM Punk.
Come on,
would give him the win. Like
It's-
you didn't dead drop him in and say he's going straight to the main event. You did have him work his way there.
He
Like,
worked for it.
The man faced Bobby Fish on TV. Like that's
Yeah, he wrestled
Yeah.
the big homie. Like he worked for it.
yeah.
There's something to the story of him having to get through MJF and revive his old self to get that title shot as well.
That's the
I really
story.
like that story, and him coming out this week and getting that win and immediately doing the strap.
And
He's
then
coming.
MJF beats him. There you go.
Yeah.
MJF
And
takes the title
MJF
from him.
saying he's getting a rematch as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a
There you
lot
go.
you can do there, and I feel like I think with All Out being back in Chicago, I think Punk should walk in as champ. I think that's the best thing you can do.
And walk out not as champ.
Ooh.
Man, if he walks into Now Arena or wherever they have it this year as champion,
Oh
that's
my
gonna be nuts.
God. Y'all are
I
gonna
think-
go crazy.
I think that's the best thing you can do. Like last year, that's a great full circle thing to do. Like last year, you had him walk in, like it's his first match in 7 years, and now a year later, like we're seeing him as champ.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be amazing. I do think it should be CM Punk beating Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page will. Am I right here? Yes. He at least won't have the distinction of being the shortest AEW World Champion. That's still going to be Chris Jericho by Double or Nothing. And so, yeah, just do it. It's
He'll
time
get a
to-
couple more world title victories along the way
And,
too.
and
so,
Hangman's had
yeah.
he's had some bangers.
He's
out
had a
there.
good
Yeah.
reign. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
no, I changed my whole shit on Hangman. Like he did it.
Yeah.
He tore it up. Every match was fire.
Shot Kid 29 says, following Reg's lead and skipping Mania because who need that trash? So hyped for Supercard, Bloodsport, Multiverse, and Mission Pro instead. I mean, this has been Mania weekend for me for like 5 years now. I haven't been to Mania itself in 6 years. But I've been going to every Mania weekend because, hey, Mania weekend is lit. And,
Mania weekend is so fire. Oh my
and,
God, it's coming.
that I will say it was Dallas in 2016. That was the year that made me realize I had a miserable experience at WrestleMania. Did not have fun at AT&T Stadium.
That was the worst WrestleMania I've been to.
Yeah,
that shit was
it
awful.
was hot. My scalp was
Trash.
burning.
Scalp was burning.
Yeah, man. Like I was like
He was
at
out
the-
there.
What,
Yeah,
did you get did you put the you got the Malcolm X joint? You got
Yeah.
you put that dupe in your hair? That's why it was burning.
Man.
I had I had the waves at the time, so I had my hair kind of short, and
Ooh,
it
he
was like
slimming.
yeah. So at the time, it was just like why does my head fucking burn? Like at least now I got hair, but
I did like the tailgating at WrestleMania.
Tailgating
That
was fun.
one was dope. I
mean,
drank 240s and I had to. Oh my God! I had to cut. I had cut in front of. I cut in front of a line full of people at the porta potty. I'm like, I'm sorry. Just as I'm walking into the porta potty, because like, yo, I drank 240s, you guys. It'll be okay. And also, Merce was out there. Merce and John Connor were out there. It was
Yeah.
just a great time
Love Merce.
outside of WrestleMania and 32.
And-
But
and hey,
inside,
the night before too, we had an RBR meetup. That was dope. ACH came through. It was like
Hey.
that was actually really cool. We had a lot of fun with that. I was actually just talking with B-Rob about
Is
we were
B-Rob
talking
coming to
yesterday.
Dallas, by the way?
No, he's not coming to Dallas. So even though
He's
it's
in
his bir-
Texas. What are
he's
you
in
doing, bro?
Texas, man. What's going on here?
So what
Thought I was gonna get to meet the homie.
What he told me was that it's his birthday weekend, and he planned on spending his birthday weekend at WrestleMania, and then his wife made birthday surprise plans for him
Oh, okay.
in New Orleans, and was like, "Oh, well, okay, I'm gonna go to New Orleans."
Yeah. No, you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
pick. you
Sorry,
gotta pick
yeah.
the
His wife comes first. You know.
Yeah, wife comes
I mean,
first.
it's his birthday. Like that's the thing is, whatever that's also important there. But she made some plans.
He could
and
also
so-
be like, "It's my birthday. I'm going to WrestleMania." But you can't. No, you go to New Orleans and have some delicious food. It'll be fine. You're gonna have
Yeah.
fun.
So either way, I was talking with him though. We were talking about the meetup in Dallas, and that was just a lot of fun. And there was
Damn, when's there gonna be a Grapsody meetup though? Shit, man, what's
Hey.
up, man?
Hey,
Where y'all
man.
at?
we
where y'all at?
we talked about it. We gotta do it at a major event. Like it's
Where
too soon for
y'all at?
WrestleMania,
Yeah, this is
maybe-
too close. This is WrestleMania's next week. We're gonna
Yeah.
think about it. We're gonna think about it. There's a
Yeah.
lot of shit going on.
We'll do it though,
This year.
for sure. We did RBR meetups. There's not a chance I won't do a Grapsody meetup. I promise
Mm-hmm.
you guys, there'll be a Grapsody meetup. And thanks. Is that it for?
The Humpies.
Yep, that's it for Super Chats and Humper Chats. So a couple more topics. Hey, Kairi is back.
All
And
caps when you spell her name, baby.
I've been seeing that elbow drop all over my timeline, boy.
Man, really happy to see it. Came back last night at World Climax, and teamed up with Mai Watani. If you guys know, like, of course, they have history because they were a part of Freedom with Io Shirai, and they went against Tam Nakano, Cosmic Angels. Of course, you know, if you're a Stardom fan, you have to be either in that group that buys the pay-per-views or you wait to watch it on Stardom World like I do. So, of course, everything gets spoiled before you actually watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't spoil that for you, but sounds like it was a good match. Sounds like the main event was a good match with Julia versus Shuri. SLK got that title back. Sorry, spoiled that one for you. Got it. Come on, man. Black Desire is dope, man. So Momo and SLK have those Goddess of Stardom championships back around their waist, and you know, Kairi will be back in action tomorrow at 101 against SLK. Looking forward to that match.
Hot.
hey, and I'm glad we were talking about this before the show, but I'm glad she settled on the name Kairi just as Kairi all caps. I think that's the name everybody he's kind of called her forever anyway. That she's Kairi Hojo, she's Kairi Sane, and people were wondering what she's gonna go back with.
Now it's just Kyrie.
Yeah,
Kairi, man, I really like her new logo. It looks
only
awesome.
Kairi we acknowledge.
Yeah. Really, really love the new logo with the two Ks with the sword in the middle. That looks super dope. She's in fantastic shape. It looks like you can tell she's been working while she was away.
Oh, yeah.
And I was surprised. This is her first match back since July 2020. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
Yeah, last match since she never worked the Thunderdome. So this is like since those Performance Center matches.
Yeah, crazy.
Damn.
But yeah, I hated the way she left WWE. I was one of those people that I felt like her last match, because her last match was the Bayley match where she beat the champion and didn't get a title shot. I was like, okay, why didn't you at least give her the title shot against Bayley at a pay-per-view and have that be her last match? Or you could have gave us Kairi versus Asuka for her last match. You teased it on Raw Talk and didn't give it to us. Ugh. Don't get me started on that. But super excited to see her back in Stardom. I think she's going to have some great matchups there with a bunch of people that weren't there before she left. That's really
I know way too many people here right now that I didn't know last year. Who the fuck are y'all?
She comes out with over 2. Yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, man, super happy she's back at home working. Man, looking forward to what she does next.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Excited.
Yeah.
Something we're not excited for. Because you know what? This can't all be great topics, all right?
Oh my God, I forgot. I was like, what happened? Jeez Louise,
listen,
these
man,
people.
We don't need to see a go back to Mexico gimmick.
No, dude,
why? Especially the day, like the week after you crown your first Mexican women's champion.
In Texas,
don't do that.
This is nasty.
It was nasty. This segment was bad. The promo wasn't good, and I think the thing that made the promo worse is that
we know Vickie Guerrero's background. We know that she really means that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she was a supporter of the Wall. That makes it worse. But I think, like, as far as just like what made the segment so bad is that she came out and said that, and every time Rosa tried to say something, she would just start screaming again, "Excuse me!" It was just so obnoxious, and not in a way where it was intended to get us to boo.
Not like wrestling heat go away. It's like, no, this is awful.
Yeah, it was just a bad segment. And man, I've been thinking for a while that Nyla needs to just split from Vickie, and this cemented it for me. I'm ready for Nyla to go.
Nyla has never for 1 minute needed Vickie Guerrero.
And you know what's dumb as hell? Didn't Full Gear end? And I'm talking about Full Gear 2020. Didn't that end with Nyla kind of like pushing Vickie?
Yeah.
Like, all right,
didn't she get slapped or something like that?
And then I was like, all right, we're done with this. We're done. And then it's like, nah, here we are, a year and a half later. Yeah, so I said this on Day After Dynamite. I'm going to repeat this point. Here's the thing about Vickie Guerrero. Vickie Guerrero was always bad. There was never a good Vickie Guerrero. But the thing about Vickie Guerrero was that the initial appeal of Vickie was that she was bad, but we were all in on the joke. And it was like, hey, she's screechy. She's not even like really charismatic. But, you know, that's why she's here, because we all kind of hate this, but like we all kind of like actively hate it with her, and like she knows she sucks. That's kind of the appeal here of Vickie Guerrero. And we got that for years, right? Like she wasn't good in 2008, but of course, like I said, we liked it because it was bad. It was bad that we were all in on. It had really kind of run its course by like 2012. We were like done. Right?
I mean, it was cool to see her when she came in for her Rumble spot with the Women's Rumble, because we hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
But
I mean, making it from 2005 of her husband passing away to 2012, that's a pretty good run for us not to hate it. But they just kept going. They didn't stop.
Kept going, and then and now it's over in AEW, and the thing I said on Day After Dynamite this week was that everything you could have done wrong in this segment was done wrong.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa, like literally, if you change one thing about the segment, any one piece of it, it improves it from like an F to at least a D. Because if Thunder Rosa had even gotten to speak for 1 minute, an improvement. If Vickie Guerrero didn't speak, improvement. If Nyla Rose was by herself and just came out and crushed Thunder Rosa before her moment, improvement. Yep. Everything about this would have been an improvement, but everything that they could have done wrong in the segment was done wrong. And I was not a fan of this whatsoever. If you look at the quarter hours this week and the big drop-off, I don't know if it was the main event itself or the fact that people were turned off after that segment. Either way, the last segment's there's like 100,000 people dip. Nothing about this segment connected. I know there's a lot of people upset that Nyla's the first challenger again. That piece I'm not so mad about.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Because that doesn't bother me because I like Nyla Rose. I think that, every champion has faced Nyla Rose at some point. That she was...
But she's a top woman out there. She's a viable talent, of course.
But I do think she's an establishment piece of AEW. And the fact is, like, she's beaten everybody, right? Like, this is also... because maybe it's worth mentioning, because it has been mentioned, that Nyla Rose beat Thunder Rosa in the women's tournament last year.
Yeah, so, she beat her in the semifinals to go to the finals.
Go to the finals. That's, as far as Thunder Rosa is concerned, she doesn't have a victory over Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose also just recently beat Ruby Soho on TV.
Yep. She's 5-0 right now. I didn't understand why people were like, why is she getting the shot? She's undefeated this year.
Because people don't.
So like I get why she's getting the shot, and I get why it's her, and especially when like there's history with her and Thunder Rosa. That's stuff I would have brought up here. There's ways you could have gotten to this match. Nyla Rose is not my problem here. Way she's the problem for a lot of people. I actually would have been fine with this being the feud to start with, because there was a couple of points worth bringing up that were both just glossed over. One, they were in the building. Nyla Rose won her first women's title in. That's worth bringing up.
And she said that in her promo, which was so much better than what they did on TV.
I know. That was worth bringing up here. That
way better.
That this is my building. I own this building, and I'm coming for my title again. Definitely worth bringing up. Also worth bringing up the fact that, hey, Thunder Rosa, glad you're champion again. You never beat me. Matter of fact, I beat you in the women's eliminator tournament 1 year ago. So as far as we're concerned, I have your number.
Yep.
Worth bringing up again. There are ways you could have gotten here, and the way you chose to get here was Vickie Guerrero bringing up Thunder Rosa Thunder Rosa's green card and all of that. And even as Thunder Rosa goes to defend herself and say, I gained my citizenship here in Mexico, she didn't even get the full sentence out before she gets excuse me'd again. And the whole thing was just a mess, a dud. I was not a fan of this whatsoever. This fucking
awful waffle, bad.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Awful segment,
Don't do that to Thunder Rosa after she just had that great victory last week. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, and I saw a lot of people trying to dunk on the women's division in general after this and say, okay, well, this is why they need to sign more people.
But bro, we just saw that amazing match last week. How did you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the division is awful. Like, look, like Will said, this isn't on Nyla. Nyla's great. It's just that the way that they presented Nyla as the next challenger was bad. I do think that they've done good things with the women's division over the last year. Do they still need work? Yes, but I do think, man, if we're gonna say that what they've done with Jade is great, you can't say that everything they've done with the women's division is bad, because
Right. That
Jade
doesn't
is
make
in a
sense.
great place right now, and Jade is another one that's like, I beat you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of essentially tearing down everyone involved in the division because of this segment, because I feel like that's what I've seen
I
a
didn't
lot
like that
of.
either.
That's
I've
crazy.
been seeing a lot of like, oh, this division is trash. Like, just get rid of the whole
Like
thing. And I'm
Red Velvet and Layla didn't tear it up.
Like
You
they
know what I
just
mean?
had a
Like,
match
come
like
on.
literally 5 minutes before this.
Yeah.
And, you've been building to Chris Statlander and Layla Hirsch, and
Man, Sheeta and Deeb is gonna
Yeah,
be great
come
when they
on.
have their rematch. Come on, man.
Mhm.
There's good stuff in this division, man.
Yeah.
and so yeah, I wasn't a fan of that stuff, but I am a fan. But I mean, so I wasn't a fan of the segment, and I don't think this was the right way to get there. And I do agree with the criticism that it just makes it all feel like another Challenger of the Week type scenario, where it's just like, or Challenger of the Month type scenario, where it's just like, hey, we know these two have history, we know there's a story to tell there, but they're just gonna have a match and move on. And I don't like that at all. And I feel like there was a better way to get Thunder Rosa's first reign started with these same people, and everything you could have done wrong to get there, you did.
Yep.
So yeah, trash.
Yeah.
But on the positive side, as you said, almost like 10 minutes after the show was over, Nyla Rose drops a fire promo, because Nyla Rose is a great promo.
Yep. That's
Jeez.
what I think that's what we're the most confused about, is why Vickie's still here. It's like, no, we all want to hear Nyla talk. What? That's the thing. We want to hear her do this. We want to hear her promo. Get Vickie out of there. Just let Nyla do this.
Yeah, and I even saw people saying that Nyla's not a good heel because people like her. And look, I love Nyla's presence online. I love her Twitter account. Hilarious. But she's a really good heel.
She's a great heel.
But also, if that's true, like, the one thing I would do to save this, if there is much to save this, is use this as the face turn.
Getting her away
have
from
her
Vickie.
lose and have her finally walk away from Vickie and turn her face, and have Nyla build her up to Jade at that point.
There's 2 championships. There's a lot you can do over here.
Yep. I did see some people that were saying, why didn't Deeb challenge her? I mean, I think they're clearly...
Deeb's not there yet. It's not that Deeb's not there yet. It's that because she's literally the number 1 contender right now. But at the same time, I do think that Deeb still has a program with Sheeta going on right now.
Right.
That's one that's got to end, and I think it's supposed to end this week, actually. Sheeta's back in the United States after she did those 2 great matches, by the way. She did the Ice Ribbon show, and she did the Grand Princess show last week, and now she's back in the States. She was at Dynamite this week. I think they taped some stuff to build to the match with Serena, and I think it's supposed to happen if not this Wednesday, this Friday, to finally wrap up that.
Is it going to be an Owen match?
I don't think so.
Interesting. See, I have this theory that the reason why Deeb isn't the next challenger is because Sheeta is going to beat Deeb, and Sheeta is going to challenge Rosa at Double or Nothing.
I would love to see that. Yeah,
that's my prediction.
That would be so great. Are you kidding me? And then there's a huge story to tell with Serena and Thunder Rosa, because the NWA Women's title, all of that. There's a story to tell there. There's
tied in. Tie-ins.
And Double or Nothing is where Sheeta won the title.
Yep.
Yes, but also give me matches. Give me the matches. I am ready for all of them. Let's see. Distract here says Kairi versus SLK has instant match of the year potential.
Does, man. Shout out to SLK. I think she had one of the best rebrands last year, turning heel and joining Oedo Tai. She is fantastic. Just looking forward to that match. Looking forward to SLK getting more opportunities.
Yeah, Van Twinblade says, Vickie, you are Latino. Stop hating yourself. And I know Reg knows this too. That I feel like that statement there is a little bit discrediting Latinos as a whole culture, because I know Trump supporting Latinos.
Oh my God, yeah. There's a lot of classism in the Latino
Man, there
Just
are
as
black
much
Trump
as there's-
supporters.
just
I
as
mean,
Yeah.
much as there's
it
black,
happens.
just as much as there's
Same thing.
yeah,
A lot of
there-
classism in Black America too. You know, like
Yes.
it's just like we can't. There's capitalism.
Yeah. When people feel like they made it on their own in a sense, they
Yep.
will like to look down on others
Exactly.
who may not have been able to get there the same way.
Mhm.
So
It's
and
awful.
that happens across the board.
And we don't want to see it as a fucking angle on our wrestling
No,
shows.
I don't.
That's
Yeah,
awful.
no thanks.
Ugh.
Chris, shout out Chris, says, Will, stop saying bad things about AEW or our checks from TK.
I'm saying, bro, come on, man. Like, you know,
But yeah,
lean on
that
my
segment
cash.
was bad. Nyla's promo after was good though.
we're sorry, TK. We're just trying to help, bro. That's it. That's all. That's it. We're trying to help.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all.
let's never do that again. That was
Yeah,
awful.
that's it. That's pretty much it.
The women need more in-ring promos.
They do. I definitely agree with that.
I like what every time they do the backstage promos though, they're great though. The Statlander
Yeah.
one, the Nyla thing, like it's like, what are y'all need to
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what's
do
going
think
on
that
there.
they've done a better job of giving the women like other stuff and building up to like the Rampage matches. I think
Yeah,
that's
and
one
like
of
the
the
video
best.
packages and stuff have been
video
like,
package are good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best improvements they've made.
Mhm.
Alexander says, it's totally fine to not like a segment or an act or an angle. Extrapolating that to an entire division exposes the real motivation for a lot of criticism.
Facts.
Big
Yeah.
facts.
Like there's one little thing. Like, let's talk about all these other things. Like what, man? Come on, stop it.
Mike G says, Rosa deserved a celebration segment with all her MPW students around the ring and have Nyla destroy everyone except Thunder with the final stare down. Damn. See, that would have been
so
fucking
much
dope.
better.
Are you
And-
kidding me? That would've been
And it would have
incredible.
built to
Booked
built
it.
to the Maddie match on Friday.
Booked
It
it.
would've made
Look how
sense.
fast you booked it. That's what I'm talking about. Come on.
Hey, damn.
And there's hella MPW students out there. Come on, like
That
you
would've
could
been
you could make
excellent.
you could have put like just 3 of them out there to blah blah blah. They're bringing out carrying Thunder on their shoulders, blah blah blah, celebrating, and then here comes Nyla to take everything out. But no, they took a different. I don't know what was the motivation behind it. That was
And then,
in Texas and they're celebrate like
uh-oh. Sorry, I just got a text. Don't do this to me. What is this?
what's we talking about?
So I got, how bad is it? How
Oh
bad?
no,
Oh,
Is everything
by
okay?
an hour. No, my flight for Dallas, which was actually the next topic, got changed by an hour. So,
oh shit.
so otherwise, it's not that bad. I just got an alert
Okay.
saying there's been a change to your itinerary. I'm like, oh, what does that mean? But so
I'm nervous. I am nervous. I've been seeing them
Yeah.
tornadoes and shit. I'm like, can y'all weather chill? I'm not trying to fly in on no fucking tornado, dog. What's going on out here?
So yeah, look, this week we head to Dallas, Texas.
Next
for-
week is the first ever. All 3 Grapsody boys are in person Grapsody.
I am excited for
It's
this.
lit.
This has been a long time in the making.
It's lit.
But honestly, I'm excited to see everybody. There's so many
Yeah.
people that
No.
I'm just excited to see.
Hell
excited
of the
to chill
homies are
with.
pulling up. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
next week.
honestly, For the Culture is going to be a
Before
moment
that,
in time.
Wale Mania is
Wale
going to be
Mania is gonna be-
insane. Oh
Yes.
my god, Wale Mania! Like so many people are just going for Wale Mania. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So like,
So where you will find your boys, that's what we're talking about here. You want to
Mhm.
see your boys in Dallas, Texas. I will personally be at Wale Mania. I will
Mhm.
be at For the Culture. I'll be at WrestleCon and Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. I actually leave Saturday. I'm gonna be home in time to do Grapsody next Saturday from my house.
have you looked at a map? Because you're getting a car, right?
Yes.
Like, have you looked at a map to see what this should be like? Because sometimes these shit, man, ROH, they like to be away. Like I didn't even go to the ROH
Well, so the
when
Ring of Honor-
WrestleMania was in California. They were so far away that I was like, I'm not gonna go to ROH.
So this is at the Curtis Culwell Center in Garland, Texas, which is funny that is like an AEW staple. I'm pretty sure they
Mhm.
made that a wrestling venue
Yeah.
because they first ran that show in December of 2019. But it's now the Ring of Honor has been running it ever since,
Mm.
and it's in Garland. It's not in Dallas.
So that's not a good sign.
So
to what I'm
it's,
saying.
it's like 30 minutes.
Jeez,
Yeah.
bro.
Well,
But yeah,
Jeez.
I'll be
We'll see.
driving the three of us around. Maybe get another Nissan Rogue like in Orlando.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be intoxicated from rip. I'm not. I
Yo.
can't drive nothing.
Is that why you're getting there at 1 a.m. to start drinking at 1 a.m?
I mean, your boy got to start early.
So I'll be at least 3 of those shows with Will. I think I'm gonna try and hit Bangers Only on Saturday. I don't know because somebody keeps asking me if I'm going to Stand and Deliver, but that's at the same time as we record our podcast.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to Stand and Deliver. By the way, I just want to call out some shit, by the way. Just some certain people. I've been wanting to say this for a few days, but it's not that I dislike any. Look, we talked to NXT 2.0.
I dislike people. I'll just say that. I dislike a lot of people. No, just playing.
I like NXT 2.0. Okay, it's not that I like NXT 2.0. It's not that I like NXT 2.0, but I do think NXT 2.0 is good at what it's trying to do. That it knows what it wants to be, and I think it's figured that out. And to those who are into that, I think that NXT has found its niche, it's found its audience. I will say, though, and I've been trying to say this for months, I have always said pay attention to the motivations behind people who are screaming about diversity and representation, because it is important to be consistent about it. And it is important to support black wrestlers across the board. Support them in the indie scene, support them wherever you see them. That if you see things happening for black wrestlers in promotions that you're not necessarily a fan of, maybe acknowledge that, but then also it takes acknowledging things that aren't happening. Anyway, I said all this to say, not a single black wrestler wrestled on NXT this week, and there's been a lot of quiet about that. Not a
Got
single
Wale
person.
on the theme, though.
Nobody
Appropriating the culture, though.
Nobody said a word.
I
Now,
thought that was
Carmelo-
the land. Wakanda. It's fucking not. Stop it.
Carmelo and Trick were on the show, but as far as being placed on the show, having matches, because that's the thing people seem to count when they look at the card, not a single black wrestler competed on NXT this week. And I'm just saying, be consistent about that.
If we're talking about it, let's talk about it. If we're gonna talk about no black wrestler completing on the other show, let's talk about it and not competing on here too. How about that?
I mean, it ain't a whole bunch of black people on that Wrestlemania card, is it? I mean, no.
No, but we are. They're gonna add one more match. We're getting Omos and Lashley.
Get out of here. I'm going to be in Dallas, Texas too. I have a collective pass, so I'm going to watch so much wrestling. I'm going to hate wrestling.
I want a collective pass
after it's over. I'm going to be at the collective. I'm going to be at For the Culture. I'm going to be at one of them spring break shows. I have to see. I'm really trying to figure out how to see AJ Gray win the GCW World Championship while at the same time Mania. There's some time. There's numbers. There's all kind of things. Like, bro, AJ, I have to see this moment.
Isn't he scheduled to be at Wrestlemania?
That's exactly what it is. I'm like, how are you at the show, but you're also you got a match? Like, what's going on here? But I have to see AJ Gray win the GCW World Championship. Like, that's one of the main reasons I'm going to Dallas. So I don't know. I don't know, man. There's a lot going on.
Man, there's a lot. That Impact show looks great.
The Impact show's crazy. That one WrestleCon show with Rich Swann and Mike Oku from the UK.
That looks crazy. There's a lot of shows that look really good. I mean, man, we got Bloodsport that looks good. I mean,
Bloodsport.
Yeah.
New Texas Pro is out there. My homies, they got an amazing show going out there. It's like, bro, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna be all over the place. You will see me somewhere. And I'm working. I'm trying to get interviews. I'm trying to get people for Grapsody. Like, I'm gonna be in the
for
mode.
Sure networking.
The mode networking tis I'm for sure.
My Saturday and Sunday are wide open. I don't know what I'm doing Saturday and Sunday.
You do. You're going to WrestleMania.
You're going to WrestleMania, acting like there's my wrist.
I don't have any plans to go to WrestleMania.
He's going to be walking through the streets talking about
when the McMahon theme song. Yeah, it's going to be sick.
Nah, man. I'm gonna be...
Phil, just let us know, man. You're going to be out there. They sent the VIP pack already. They need that.
I don't have no VIP pack, bro.
VIP pack is
I don't have none of that.
Hell. They're like, just come say your name, Philip Lindsey, Bleacher Report, Grapsody Podcast.
Come
through.
It would be cool to go. The only match that I really want to go there to see is the AJ and Edge match, and possibly Bianca Becky. Those are the only two matches I'm really excited for off of those 2-day cards.
This week, man, send me a free ticket. I'll go, bro. You'll make
Hey,
up for
man.
me my $35. You haven't gave my $35 back. Send me a WrestleMania ticket. I'll go and yell at your show. You need to fill up 200. You need 200,000 people to show up for some reason.
Nah, like
Good luck.
if you send us a free ticket, I will ensure that me and Reg will cheer during this McIntyre and Corbin match that nobody cares
Hold
about.
on a minute. Wait, no, hold on a minute. You're talking crazy now. No, you talking crazy. I don't know about all that.
All right. I got a confession to make for everybody who can see how my face is all lit up from my screen. Reg was like, yeah, Will's getting a rental car. And I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't book the rental car. So anyway, and for the last 90 seconds, I've booked the rental car. We have a rental car now.
This guy can do it with his eyes closed, man.
Come on, man, multitasking.
I'm saying, he's like, let my guys talk for 3 minutes. I got this.
Distract them, guys.
He's a dad. He's a dad. He knows at all
slight,
times.
There was a slight panic when it was taking longer to load. I'm like, oh, shit, are all the rental cars in Dallas gone?
And then look what happened to us last time. We don't need a repeat showing up at all kinds of crazy shit.
No, I got it. It's a Kia Soul. So
we about to be in
good.
Texas, baby, turning up, double cupped up.
We will be there in Texas. Come
Not
see
double
your
cupped
boys.
up. Sorry, guys.
I am going to be. If you're not going to be in Texas, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because
everything that's happening in Texas is streaming. So
yes. But more than that, I am going to be filming a lot of stuff around for the culture. Every friend of Grapsody, I'm going to try and get a word with and air some of that stuff next week here on the show.
Wow, that's going to be fun. So we're doing that. Let me send out a couple of DMs, see who I can get on the line.
Yeah, I want to talk with people. Yes, Reg, get all of that. And mainly because we were talking about, next Saturday, we want to do a show for you guys.
Yes.
But also, this Saturday.
Next Saturday's the show. I'm going to be in Texas. I'm so fucking busy. I have to.
Yeah,
we got to figure out what's going to go on.
But we are going to have some content for you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Promise that.
Yes.
And it's going to be a hoot.
You're getting a show next week. Just that's it.
That's
from us. From Texas.
Couple more super duper chats. We've
from
got,
Tejas.
Let's see. We got Eloquent says, peace, y'all. Do you think we ever get 2 women's matches standard?
Not with this 2 hours of Rampage, 2 hours of Dynamite and 1 hour of Rampage. I don't think in this.
I mean, I think it all depends on the next few months. I think that they have a new signee coming in on Wednesday. I think they
have a couple of prospective signees that's coming in.
Yeah,
so.
I think that I know of about 3 people who word is they're probably going to end up in AEW, and that's 3 women. And then as far as
they're good.
trimming,
they're real good.
And then as far as trimming the roster of women or men is concerned, that's also going to be happening really soon. I've been told that there's people that are going to be cut. The reason I bring all that up of growing the women's roster and growing the men's roster is because growing the women's roster and shrinking the men's roster is because QT Marshall was asked about recently the women having one match on AEW Dynamite, and a lot of people didn't like his answer, but I kind of got his answer, and that he was like, he said that we typically have about 6 matches on the average episode of AEW Dynamite, and women at the moment make up 1/6 of our roster. When you think about how many men we have and how many women we have, and he's like, so proportionately, that is the accurate proportion for filling up the show. We'd actually be shortchanging our roster to change up proportions that way. And so, like, I got what he was saying there, but also, like, you kind of have to.
You can't. You can't.
You have to, but you have to make a concessions in that sense to create true equality. That sometimes, you aren't going to have as many people, but that's just how it works. But
sometimes on the shows that they say don't exist on YouTube, there's like 4 or 5 women's matches. Like some dark shows are all women's matches, but those shows don't count.
But I think as far as Dynamite and Rampage are concerned, I think it is going to come down to the more women we see on the roster, the more
we'll see it.
The more of a proportion of the roster they take up, the more, because they've only had, I think, 2 shows that I can think of off the top of my head that had 2 women's matches. Because St. Patrick's Day Slam, the first one, had it was main evented by Rosa and Britt, but it had earlier in the show Red Velvet and Jade Cargill was on that show, and so we've seen that it's possible.
All right,
fucking do it.
I will just say this to that because I say this all the time. If you want more of what you want from certain wrestlers on the show, then support the wrestlers.
Simple.
And my thing is, I see a lot of people that are like, we need more women's matches on the shows, but then I also see people trashing the women and not giving them a chance. It's like, well, support them, go to the shows and be loud for them, and they'll recognize that you want them on TV more.
Watch them on the shows that you think don't exist, because those YouTube numbers are actually something. If they see that you're watching your favorite woman wrestler every week on YouTube, they'll do something about it.
It worked for certain women on the roster, so it does work. Now, I'm not saying that to take the onus off of AEW.
Yeah, no, never.
I said, you have to.
There's a lot of things they need to improve on still. So.
Like I said, I got what QT was saying.
Yeah.
That also. That's only if you look at things just as statistics. You can also go beyond your statistics and just do.
Yeah. Okay. They're 1/6 of the roster. Who cares? Put another match on. Shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I man, support the women, man. Don't go to the shows and be quiet during their matches.
No,
and then
don't do everything.
Yeah.
Don't have Thunder Rosa yelling at you on the mic because you're being awful. You know what I mean? Like,
don't sit on your hands during their matches and then get home and go, why aren't there more women's matches on the card? Like, don't do that.
Don't do that. Orion says Sheeta goes to vanquish Deeb and the mob boss personality takes over and she goes after Rosa. My fantasy guess. Man, I want to see it. I want to see Sheeta and Deeb. I think for whatever reason, I went on Cage Match the other day and was looking at the top women's matches of last year. I didn't realize that of the top 10 women's matches, highest rated women's matches of 2021, all 3 Sheeta Deeb matches are in the top 10. All 3. And I like that second one is definitely like, go back and watch that second one they had for the TBS title tournament. Fantastic
so good
stuff. Monique says Uncle Will preaching. Thank you. Specifically talking about the NXT 2.0 stuff. And
what you said, they was horny.
When I said be consistent is all I'm saying. Be consistent.
Yeah, keep that same energy.
Don't.
Especially when we're talking about NXT 2.0. Keep that same energy.
Don't.
All right, folks. We will see you in Dallas this Thursday. Okay, so folks, I may not have an episode of Day After Dynamite this week.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, you got Day After Dynamite too, man. What are you going to do?
Okay, so Day After Dynamite may not be happening this week. My apologies.
So you're going to be in the air, probably, or somewhere.
I mean, I'll be in Dallas by that point.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'll be around unless y'all just want to do it in the car.
I mean, it's not going to, it could happen.
I will let y'all know what I end up coming up with for Day After Dynamite this week on Fightful Overbook. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, it's WrestleMania week. One of the most fun weeks you'll ever experience. If you've never done a WrestleMania week, I highly recommend it. Probably make those plans for you now. But if you've never done it,
do it.
LA next year. That's going to be...
Oh, my goodness gracious. We are in California, baby. It's going to go crazy in California for sure.
But also, come out to Vegas as well. Come out to wrestling shows, man. It's fun. These weekends
Vegas is going to be hot as fuck.
We are
temperature
outside,
and the
man.
other hot.
We are outside.
We are very outside.
Outside. It's going to be outside. But also, be safe, mask up, and wear a condom. Anyway,
hey, smoke weed every day. Nate Dogg said it the best. Yeah, let's do it.
That is it for this edition of Grapsody. I will watch it for Phil Lindsey for Righteous Reg. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Peace out.